What is up, everybody? Welcome to a very special episode of the Teardrop Pod. This is the 2025 Game Awards episode. How are you feeling about that? Andrew, my fantastic co-host.
What's up, everybody? I'm feeling pretty good, dude. This is a really exciting year for games, especially some of these categories. It's like every single game in the category is a banger, and I don't know how I could ever pick between any of them. It's an insane year for games this year.
It's tough. It's going to be tough, but it'll be fun because we are going to go through every single game of the year category, even the ones we don't know anything about, like those esports ones, and make some kind of comment prediction. I think we're going to figure it out as we go, but I think the general vibe is we'll say probably who we think is going to win each category and then give our thoughts maybe on them as well. And at the end of the episode, rather than doing this and also trying to give you guys normal content like what we've been playing, what we've been watching, all that stuff, this is all Game Awards all day. Oops, all Game Awards. All right, that's what this episode is. We have
Throw all that other crap out the window, dude. Who cares?
Exactly. So what if we played the Tokon beta? So what if I've been playing, Ghost of Yotei and Outer Worlds 2 and Cosmic Invasion? And I actually realize as I'm saying it how many new things I have played this week and could talk about, but we just don't have time for it. We have plenty of time to talk about it later when we're going to be doing all of our, we'll either have one more episode maybe before end of the year, or we'll just save it for end of the year conversations. But instead of trying to cram too much in here like we sometimes do, we're accepting our limits. We're being responsible adults. We're doing the Game Awards nomination discussions, and then we wouldn't let you guys go an episode without a tier list, though. Come on, we're not crazy. It's the brand. So we will be doing a tier list I'm very excited about, which is ranking every Game Awards Game of the Year winner. Are you?
This is gonna be the Chris tier list right here, dude.
Okay.
I went back and I counted some of them. I've played 6 of them.
I have played every single game of the year that has ever won the award. I've actually beaten all of them except for one, and I will let you guess which one it is. Oh man,
I wonder.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But
I can't wait to have the Breath of the Wild talk again. It's gonna be so much fun.
That might be the one that I haven't beaten. Who can say?
Oh wait, it probably is. Oh no.
Time will tell. Anyway, don't skip ahead straight to that, folks. Stick around with us as we do this fun little look through the year as we look at each category for this year's Game Awards. Are we just going to start from the bottom and go up as had they're organized on the website, Andrew? Does that work?
I think that's probably the best course of action here. Yeah.
Starting, which means so we'll do like a bunch of esports ones, and then we'll end with Game of the Year. So first category here, let me pull it up to follow along with you. We have best esports team. Andrew, tell me what you know about esports and the teams that make them up.
I know enough to know that I have absolutely no dog in this fight.
Yep.
If you like any of these, you're probably right. I don't know, man.
Jin.G, NRG, Team Falcons, Team Liquid PH, and Team Vitality. Those are your options.
Like I know NRG, I know Team Liquid. They have a Smash presence. And I think sometimes a Street Fighter presence. I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know that I don't know anything about Mobile Legends Bang Bang, but I don't want,
never heard
anything to do with that game.
Those words said in that order ever at any point in my life. Yeah, I have no. We can just skip this.
Yeah, let's just go to the next one here. Yep. Let's just go. Whoa, what? Hold on. Wait, preview. Wait, there it is.
There we go.
Esports Athlete of the Year.
I would make another joke here, but I think you actually have thoughts on this. I have none. Please.
Yeah, I do actually
share
have.
Us, with your wisdom. Go ahead and tell us about the nominees.
We've got Brock Chovy, Forsaken, Kakaru, Mena RD, and Zaiwu. I don't know 4 out of 6 of these people, but I know Kakaru and Mena RD. Mena has basically dominated Street Fighter this entire year.
Is he the one who won at Evo?
Yeah, so he won Evo in like a dominating fashion. Like he made, I think it was Mena and Kakeru in grand finals at Evo. Blanca player has absolutely just messed up just about everybody in the world. It's very rare that Mena goes to a Street Fighter tournament and loses. Kakeru, I believe, is the same way in Japan. Like he's a JP player. I think he switches it up every now and then. He plays, I think he has a secondary that he plays. But I mean, Mena is like, he's the Street Fighter player right now. So my vote is for Mena.
I think it's important to note here. These two are clearly the best nominees because they're the only two doing something funny with their hands. Minard has got his finger out. He's kind of saying like the and
you gotta be quicker than that.
Kakeru is doing this like this double V thing.
He's like peace sign, like,
but like
mess with me.
Yeah, no,
he looks menacing almost.
They've got the aura for sure.
Big aura.
So I'm glad that you could help me pick out of those two because it would have to be one of them. Next up is
best esports game.
Yeah, best esports. The options are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. Just kind of wild that these are our choices here. I feel like
every one of them is nominated every year, except for Mobile Legends, Bang Bang.
Yeah. I don't play any of these. I don't watch any of these. Any thoughts from you, Mr. Andrew?
I like Valorant. I like Counter-Strike. If either one of those win, I'm probably okay. I don't know if Valorant is any good still. It was pretty okay whenever I was playing it.
I just don't feel like I hear people talking about many of these games anymore. Like the one you'll probably hear the most about is Counter-Strike 2, because didn't that come out this year, like Counter-Strike 2 versus Counter-Strike? Like
I think it was either last year or it was 2023.
Which
it's been out for a year or two.
Don't people like not like it as much as they liked regular Counter-Strike?
I think they didn't at first. Okay, I'm not gonna try to talk like I know what Counter-Strike people like. I'm pretty sure that the narrative is they didn't like it at first, and then now people are kind of coming back around on it.
Okay.
Don't know.
It's just
please do not quote me on that. Don't attack me.
This is not a very exciting way to start this list, probably for people, for us doing all these ones we don't know anything about. I wish that the Game Awards would shake up their category some, and I'm sure we'll talk about that as we get into categories that we have more opinions on. But it's like, why are there so many esports things that feel like they are the exact same? Obviously, the esports competitors are different, but like the games and the teams and all that, they just feel like they're the same every year. And maybe I'm coming at that from a place of ignorance because it's just not something I engage in, but it just doesn't feel like something that is essential to the medium of video games as certain other things that we could be celebrating. They're a little more universal and not so niche, I feel like. I don't know. That's just my little soapbox.
I agree and disagree. I feel like there's still like very important parts of like just gaming in general. And I mean, I would bet you all of these games like have such a high player count that like enough people will tune in to watch and see if their favorite game or their main game wins. So I guess I can see it as like a draw, drawing some extra people to watch and watch some ads and gain some revenue, maybe.
Really, yeah, that really makes me feel much better about this. Thank you for reminding me of the
I got you, bro.
Capitalistic aspect of this. Thank you. Yeah, I have no real thoughts there on that, and I don't have many on this one either. Content Creator of the Year for a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2025. Candidates or nominees, I guess, are Kadril, Kai, Moist Critical, Sakura Miko, and The Burnt Peanut.
I really only know Moist Critical. I've been watching Charlie like since I was like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
and I really like him. So that's that's kind of the only one that I know. I almost want the burnt peanut to win just because I like his picture here.
Yeah, they did Moist Critical really dirty with this picture. For audio listeners, it's like not a full smile. It looks like they literally just screen grabbed a random frame from one of his streams.
From stream,
like a
yeah.
mid-sentence. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some stuff with Kai. I feel like some stuff he's done has been really cool and impressive. Some stuff I'm like, okay, I don't know if I fully am on board.
I mean,
with
Kai
that.
is like arguably like the biggest content creator like in the world.
I was gonna say
Almost bar none.
if this is like based off of impact or reach, then like I feel like it's him by a country mile.
Just by default almost.
Yeah, him and Moist are really the only two I had heard of before this. I would give it to Moist Critical just because of his performance in Dispatch.
I was about to say, wasn't he in Dispatch?
Yeah, more than anything else. So cool, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, now we're getting into some fun stuff. Most anticipated game, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. And the nominees are 007 First Light from IO Interactive, Grand Theft Auto 6 from Rockstar Games, Marvel's Wolverine from Insomniac, Resident Evil Requiem from Capcom, and The Witcher 4 from CD Projekt Red. Please start us off, Andrew, with your thoughts.
Okay. I feel like this needs to be two categories, right? I feel like we need to have most anticipated game with GTA 6 included, and then another most anticipated game, parentheses, not including GTA. Because the answer is just GTA. But I feel like this is like a really solid list of games for the future. I was not very excited about this James Bond game, 007.
I don't feel like it's...
Until I watched Dexter... what's the prequel Dexter show, which is where the actor who plays James Bond
yeah
he plays Dexter in that show.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll play it now because I really like that show.
There's a lot to take in here. I feel like you're right about GTA being kind of unfair here. If you are going off of the way they describe this category, has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is easily the pick here because of that. I mean, it's just going to be the biggest game of all time. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the biggest game of all time, basically. And there's no reason to think that this next one won't be. I think The Witcher 4 actually is the one that, from a gameplay mechanic standpoint, potential based off of how CD Projekt, pushed, I feel like, RPGs forward with The Witcher 3. I think of this list, that's the next one. If you're taking GTA out of the equation, I don't think
that's kind of where my head goes to.
I don't think Witcher 4 is coming out next year, though. I would be shocked.
No.
So to me, this should list games that are only like pretty firmly
confirmed for next year,
or heavily, likely to be next year. So I don't really think The Witcher 4 should be there either. Anyway, I don't think First Light has previewed very well from what I've seen. Like, I didn't watch the full PlayStation.
Really?
I think they had a PlayStation Direct or whatever about it. I didn't watch that one, but one of the gameplay sequences I did see from it, I was like, I don't know, but I like the Hitman games pretty well. For me on this list, it's Wolverine. Like, my personal opinion is definitely Wolverine. I don't think that's a game that's going to push the gaming medium forward, but of the games on this list, it's the one I'm personally most excited for. I think Requiem.
It's just because I'm the same way, and it's because I trust Insomniac so much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they've made a stinker game ever, maybe. I mean, it's been at least a decade since they have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
if they have.
It's like a darker tone for them. I'm curious to see them kind of, they really haven't done darker stuff since, I feel like, the Killzone games, or not Killzone, Resistance games, and all that. And this is obviously, I feel like, even more narrative focused. And I just feel like it's kind of the culmination of a lot of their stuff, on top of me just being a huge Wolverine fan and being curious to see what this means for, the X-Men in the Marvel's games universe.
True.
So my vote would be Wolverine based off of personal opinion, but I think Grand Theft Auto, based off their criteria, is the easy answer. Even if it's like, if we're doing this in order for me, if these were all to come out next year, it would be See, I just don't think Witcher 4 is going to come out next year.
No, I think Witcher 4 is 2027.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing the other day where they said that they're going to release 3 Witcher games in 6 years?
Something like that. Yeah. No, it was
like the whole trilogy.
Yeah, because they're remaking the first one or something too, right? I think is what one of them is. Yeah. That's anyway. I'm not even going to count The Witcher 4 because we've seen so little of it and it's so far off in my mind. I would put it Wolverine, Requiem, Grand Theft Auto, First Light. That would be my order.
Yeah.
If I were to include Witcher, Witcher would either be first or second, probably. Yeah. But I would need to see more of it. But interesting category. We've already spent like
interesting to see
as much of on this category as we have all the others combined. I need to have a moment with you though. There's a game missing from this list. That's very near. It's called Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm just saying, if you're gonna put The Witcher 4 on here, dude, where's Kingdom Hearts 4 or Rebirth Part 2, Remake Part 3? I mean, the sequel to Rebirth.
Yeah.
I mean,
where is it at?
I'm just saying.
Square just hasn't announced anything, and Square pissed me off dramatically this year.
I'm just saying, man, if they're gonna put Witcher 4, there's some other things we could have considered, but whatever. Best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Okay, the options are a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell Death Watch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn.
I know that you loved Until Dawn so much.
Now, our loyal listeners here might recall I had thoughts about Until Dawn, and the fact that it's on this list at all is actually an affront to all things that the Game Awards should stand for. That movie is...
It is baffling, considered that Sonic 3 exists.
Dude,
and is nowhere to be seen on this.
It makes no sense. It must purely be people didn't understand the way that the windows worked for the nominations, because this happens all the time with games too. I feel like where if it comes out in December of the previous year, everyone's like, oh, it's not eligible for this year, but it is for next year. But no one remembers it for next year. There's like, no. we will get to one exception this year that was in December last year that's getting a little bit of attention here. But yeah, I didn't even watch the Sonic movies, and I can tell you it's better than Until Dawn. I know, I'm sure it is.
Like guaranteed.
I've actually heard Splinter Cell Death Watch is pretty good. I've heard mixed things about Devil May Cry. I feel like fans of this series really don't like it, and I think I've heard some sort of controversy about the director. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was just like people
sounds about right
critiquing the interpretation. That's the one that I was probably most interested in. I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah.
What of these have you seen?
The Last of Us Season 2, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not even know that Splinter Cell had an adaptation until these nominees came out.
It came out pretty recently, I think. It was like towards the tail end of the nomination window, I believe. I feel like I've heard pretty good things, but I haven't heard much. So
I'd be down to watch it. I've never played a Splinter Cell game, but Splinter Cell has always intrigued me.
You've never played
much unlike I haven't played a single one. Not one.
That's crazy.
But much unlike the Minecraft movie, I have literally zero interest. I didn't watch it. I work with a bunch of high schoolers, and they wouldn't stop talking about it.
Chicken Jockey.
And then they went and saw it again on the meme along version or whatever it was.
I'm sorry, what did you just say to me, brother? I
swear that's a real thing, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
It was like a sing-along version, but instead of sing-along, it was for the memes.
It's like encouraging you to shout and throw your popcorn and be a menace whenever they say chicken jockey.
So whenever Jack Black says chicken jockey, then, you know, everybody says it very loudly.
I just am angry to know that exists. So because of that, I won't even pretend to give it a pity vote. Not that I would have anyway, but that's crazy. Shout out to Tim Geddes at Kind of Funny as well, who voiced his disdain that Twisted Metal Season 2 wasn't on here. Again,
true.
I watched the first episode of Twisted Metal Season 1. I didn't love it, but it was better than Until Dawn, I'll tell you that. Okay, so and I've heard Season 2 is even better, so I'm just saying there's some pretty egregious choices here. I am sure the answer is either Devil May Cry or Splinter Cell. we never actually got to finish our conversation about Last of Us Season 2. I really did not like, as it went on more and more, and I feel like this did come through as we were kind of talking about them episode by episode on here. I just kind of had more and more issues with it. By default, I would have to give it the award here because it's the only...
That's what I'm saying, too. Yeah.
It's certainly better than Until Dawn. But I really did not... I had a lot of issues with Season 2 by the end of it. I don't think it's terrible, but it's...
I feel like if it had like a couple more episodes, I'd probably like it a little bit more.
See, I just don't know.
Like,
I think that they just really... For me, a lot of it is the interpretations of these characters just started to change more and more to the point that they just weren't working for me. But I don't know. I think we talked about this a little bit off camera. It's like, I feel like everything that they added for this season was because it needed to be added for the sake of the show and to make that fit into that medium more, and it didn't necessarily benefit it in the way that the things that were added to season 1, like the stuff about Ashley Johnson's character and the stuff with Bill's town and stuff like that. Those were all additions that I felt like added to the world and the story of The Last of Us. And basically every change they made here felt like, well, the way the story is structured, we kind of have to make this change so people don't wait 4 years between seasons and have no idea what's going on, and or they just took the characters in a direction that I feel like changes them from their game versions, which isn't inherently bad, but I did think that the way that they changed them in here was worse for me.
Yeah, so. It's really forgettable for me. Like, as you're sitting here talking about it, I'm like, dude, I couldn't even I know, where it like ends, but I could not tell you most of what happened in the middle to like ending of that entire season.
Yeah.
Like it was very just not as interesting to me.
If I didn't know the plot as well as I do from the game, I think I would feel the same way for sure.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Let's move on here.
To all that crap talked, good on them.
Best multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Those are some words. We've got Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. I mean, we know the answer, right?
Certainly have my answer.
I feel like it has to be Split Fiction. I have not played a single game that's on this list.
Really?
I know that if I did play all of these games on this list, it would be Split Fiction. I know that people really like Peak. I'm interested in Peak.
Yeah, I played
Elden Ring,
Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. It's Split Fiction. Peak is like a fun way to pass time with your friends. I have some friends who are like super into it. Shout out Fahad. Fahad is Peak pilled for sure. He loves that game.
Oh yeah.
And I played with him and some of our other friends, Kush as well. And it's like it's cool, like, but I don't ever. It is on such a different plane than Split Fiction. That is this like,
oh yeah,
curated, cinematic, in-depth game that has so many layers and so much variety. And Peak is like just a simple, fun way to pass time. Night Rain is a game that I regret not playing more of, but I enjoyed the time I did have with it, but it's got its flaws. And I know people like Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6 too, but for my personal taste, I think Split Fiction is much more impressive in what it does for me personally.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. One day I will play a Split Fiction. And one day I will finish It Takes Two.
I hope so.
Best sports / racing for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. EA Sports FC.
Just what a weird combo. Like, why?
It's a weird combo.
Why do we have Sonic Cross Worlds Racing and Rematch in the same category?
Yeah, especially with like the games that are in the category itself, like Mario Kart World Rematch, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, F125, EA Sports FC 26. What are we doing, guys?
It's so weird.
Make it make sense.
It's bizarre, dude. What are your thoughts?
Like, okay, I know I was talking crap about Mario Kart World in the last episode, and it kind of stands here. I really hope the Sonic Racing Crossworlds wins this. I really hope that Sonic Racing wins this, so that Nintendo sees that, and then they feel like a push for a little update or something. I mean, I guess they've already sold, you know, whatever, 10 million copies of it. They probably don't give a shit.
Yeah, they got their bag. They're not worried.
Yeah.
This is weird. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then there's Rematch, which I haven't played, but I really like how that game looks. I know it didn't review like super well, but I know a good few people who actually like really rock for Rematch. So
yeah, I played Rematch a good bit when it came out, and I played Mario Kart World. I got to give it to Sonic Racing Crossworlds though, because it has Ichiban and Joker in it. So sorry, I haven't played it, but
and SpongeBob.
Got to go to them. No, I I don't know. It would be tough for me between Mario Kart World and Rematch, because I think they're both games that like have some issues.
Are good but disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to put it. For the best,
like,
okay,
I would vote for Mario
best.
Kart World here, like just like, because that's my game. That's, I mean, it's also the only game on the list that I've played.
Yeah,
do I feel good about voting for it? No.
You know, I was gonna say, I think there's more to Mario Kart World, even if it's not executed to the level I wish it was. But I think about my times with those games, and like I played Mario Kart World when like Mayor was here or when friends were over and they really were enjoying it, and we had a good time. But Rematch is a game that I pulled up and would ask friends like, hey, do you want to play this for like 2 or 3 weeks? Which isn't that long, but it is a game that I went out of my way to play more, which I think says more. So I actually probably would give it to Rematch here, I think.
I think that's a good pick. I think that's perfectly respectable.
Yeah. Weird category.
Yeah, definitely strange.
Dude, and this one is too, man. Best sim / strategy. This is tough. Best game focused on real time you know what? I just realized we're saying all of the things that we like. We're saying our picks, but we aren't saying who we predict will win, which we did say we were gonna do.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I do think I'm not even gonna go back to the game. I think Last of Us Season 2 will win. I think that Split Fiction will win multiplayer. It's either Split Fiction or Arc Raiders. And I think Mario Kart will win Best Sports Racing. I think.
Yeah, I agree with those. I think.
The best sim strategy, best game focused on real time or turn based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. We have Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Ivalice, yes. Thank you. Jurassic World Evolution 3. I cannot believe they made a third one. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Tempest Rising. The Altars, and 2 Point Museum. This is a weird category, Andrew. These are very different games, I feel like. I
got nothing.
One of which,
on a lot of these.
Final Fantasy Tactics is a game that people say is like one of the best games of all time, but it's also like a remake.
A remake, yeah.
So, I don't know.
With new voice acting.
Yeah, they did give Ben Starr another job, so I'm happy for that. I've played The Altars and 2 Point Museum on this list. The Altars is really cool, and 2 Point Museum, dude, I do this with every 2 Point game. I play them for one night. I love my time with them, but for whatever reason, I never go back. And it's like, I think it's either because I know I did the same thing with 2 Point Campus. Like, I streamed it one time when I was still streaming for like 4 hours. I was like, I could keep going, dude. Well, then I got off and I just didn't go back to it. I don't know what it is. Civilization, I know, had a lot of bumps at its release. I feel like in a normal year, that would be the pretty easy win. But I don't think it will take it this year based off of review scores.
Yeah, and I hear that's a story with most Civ games. So a lot of people in the Discord that I'm in, big Civ fans, and they say every time a new Civ game comes out, it sucks. for like a year plus, and then it's the best one that's ever been released.
That's so weird.
It's how it goes every time, apparently. So,
I think either the Alters or Final Fantasy Tactics will win this.
yeah.
I think
Probably. I don't know. I mean, I've heard really good things about the Alters. Of course, I would like Final Fantasy to win. No shame. I have absolutely no shame.
you haven't even played it, brother.
I haven't even played it, and I don't even like grid-based like strategy games.
But Ben Starr's in it. We got to give him as many
But
awards as we can.
I like
this
the art
year.
style a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would. I really don't know between the Alters and 2 Point. I definitely put a little more time into the Alters. I played it for about 6 hours, probably.
I mean, that's pretty significant.
I think that game is very cool in what it does. My vote would go for the Alters. For those who don't know, it's a game where you play as this guy who is on the spaceship that gets stranded, and you have to create alternate versions of yourself based off of if your life had branched in different ways that then have different skills to use them to get different resources to help you build and repair your ship the way it needs to be to get back home safely. And you're like communicating back with this corporation as you go. It is actually really cool.
Actually, sounds pretty sick.
It is. It was. I only
like
dabbled on
that.
it because it was on Game Pass. It got really hard. There's a lot of layers to it. So I just ended up, and it was at a time when I was hopping between way too many games. So it ended up being one of the ones I got dropped. But yeah, looking at this list, I think that deserves it the most. That would be my vote. My prediction is that Final Fantasy Tactics will get it.
We can dream.
Is that your prediction as well? I know
That's probably. I mean, it probably is. I haven't played them or really know enough about those games on that side of things, because I've never really been like a sim strategy game kind of guy. People apparently really like Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'm gonna throw that out there real quick. Apparently, people are like really in on that game. To play it.
Jurassic Park, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. The Jurassic World Evolution game, I played quite a bit of when it came out originally. I have not played 2 because I was like, this looks exactly like the first one. And now they put out 3, which looks exactly like the first one. And I'm sure they have updated them. That's just a really weird game, I feel like, to do that with. And Frontier Developments, the people who make that, are the people who make Planet Coaster, I think, which is another game that is like cool, but I just can't get into like I could with some of those games. Like I had a Jurassic Park Operation Genesis game for the PS2, which was the same thing where you make your own park and you run it, and it's a management game. And I was obsessed with that game, dude. I loved it so much.
Really?
But it's just, and so I was so excited when Evolution got announced because I was like, oh, this is the modern iteration of it. But they just never, I don't know, they never hit the same for me. But
We just didn't hit the same.
I've heard nothing about 3. I heard a lot about 1 at first, heard a little bit about 2. It's just like this one, I didn't even realize when it came out that it had come out. But
Dang.
look, go get your bag, dude. Which is exactly what all of the developers are
family
thinking.
game.
Yeah, when they made their family games. For the best game, appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. Read them off to us, Mr. Andrew.
We got DK Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworld Split Fiction. I am so surprised. Okay. This is normally the Nintendo category, right? Like, I feel like almost every time I see this category, it's like 4 Nintendo games and like 1 other game. So to see only 2 Nintendo games here, I'm so happy about it. I'm glad that other family games are getting some more representation and some light shined on it a little bit.
2 Lego games.
I don't,
not the same devs, but 2 Lego games.
dude. Lego has been killed. I really am interested in trying these two games. I know people really like Lego Voyagers. A lot of people were saying that they wished it was a little bit longer.
That's a dude. That would
But
be
if it's-
such a good game for, I feel like, you to play with Kayla or me to play with Mare. I feel like
Yeah,
that is such.
if
a
it's just like a
chill
sit
party
down,
game.
like one session kind of game, like you just like one and done, like that would be awesome.
Mhm.
And I've heard really good things about Lego Party 2. I don't remember who was saying it on a podcast I was listening to, but somebody was really rocking with the mini games on there. I actually think it was Mike, Snowbike
Oh.
Mike.
Another kind of funny reference. Yeah,
which just makes too much sense.
Kush and Fahad have played a lot of Lego Party, and they really like it as well. So
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
somehow invaded that friend group. What's your pick and what's your prediction for this category?
I mean, like the prediction, like I guess DK Bonanza,
I agree.
but
I think
like,
because it's the one that
it probably is my pick too, but I'm not like happy about it.
I think because it's the one that got nominated for Game of the Year. It's the only one that is a Game of the Year nominee that's on this list. It will probably get it, but mine would definitely go to Split Fiction on this list. Having only
I was
played
about to say Split Fiction is
Bonanza,
probably
Cart World, and Split Fiction, I think Split Fiction is like far and away the best game of those on this list.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't really think of any other like big like. I'm not putting Kirby Air Riders on. That is not a family game. All right, that is a, it's a
That is
game
for
for
hardcore
for friends who want to hate each
men.
other.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I think that sounds about right. I think it'll be DK, but I would rather have Split Fiction. Jesus Christ, best fighting game.
Yeah, go ahead and lay it out.
For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat, 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Virtual Fighter 5, Revo World Stage. What are we doing, guys?
See, and this this is another reason why I just wish the Game Awards would adapt a little, because if these are what you're going to go with, just skip best fighting game this year, man. Like, I think you can have different categories every year and it's okay. I understand that you want consistency, but you got a game that's not even out, 2XKO, technically in beta still, right? I know like anyone can play it, but it's
still in
not
beta.
in 1.0. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which is again just we have two collections on here. You have Capcom.
Yeah, we have two collections,
and
and the Mortal Kombat collection. People didn't even like it.
yeah,
Like,
I think
I was
that
hearing
game,
bad things about it.
Yeah, I saw Maximilian Dude's video about it where he was saying like the input lag was really bad and stuff like that, and it was really hard to find a match. I think that game is really cool for what it has in there if you're interested in the history of the franchise. But if you're judging it on its technicality as a fighting game, yeah, I heard a lot of not great things about that.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I'm pretty sure that's just like Capcom versus SNK 2 or 3, and then like a bunch of other games that I think like Power Stone or something might be in there too.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like a pretty good collection of games. These Capcom collections are always like they're always bangers. They always have banger games in them, and I'm really down with these collections. And they normally like update. I don't want to say they're like remakes of them, of course, but they're like they modernize a lot of the features in those games. They didn't have training rooms, or they didn't show hitbox sizes or hurt boxes or like any of that kind of stuff. So they've take all of these older games, they put that kind of stuff in and modernize them and make them a little more accessible, whether it be on Steam or on whatever platform you want to play on. So I'm really on board with those collections that Capcom does.
I have the Marvel versus Capcom 1, and it's great, and I played it a good bit this year, fighting Ryan and stuff like that, our friend Ryan, which was fun. Like, I think they're good, but I just don't think you would see a collection in any other category. I feel like that is a sign of how limited your choices are here. Like, I think that the winner will be, and my vote would be for 2XKO. But I think that it's, again, a bad precedent to this be the category. Okay, well, now you can have stuff that's in beta. Like why? Okay, why wasn't Hades nominated? Hades 2 nominated the year that it first came out. You know,
That's actually a really good point. I didn't
again,
think about that.
I don't think it would have been because everyone realized, okay, we're just gonna wait until this is in full release, like we would with everything else, and then it'll get its due. But because they have so few options here, they were just like, well, we got to put it here. We, just
Yeah,
I just think they should have skipped this category this year. But whatever.
I agree. I hope it goes to Fatal Fury because I actually do think that game is very fun. I played it a couple times. I bought it on sale the other day, and I played it a couple times over at one of my buddy's house. But it's a good time. It's a perfectly good feeling fighting game. The guest characters are kind of crazy. I don't know if you've seen the guest characters.
Yeah, one of them is Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't it?
Cristiano Ronaldo. You got Salvador Ganacci, who's just some like DJ.
Yeah, it's just weird to like. I feel like that it's kind of gross because I know a lot of those are just in there because their relationship to the like the what is it, the Saudi
Yeah.
The royal family
SNK is owned by Saudi Arabia,
and that's like a whole can of worms, and it's just like,
yeah, it's like a whole thing.
I haven't played the game, so I can't comment on its how it feels or whatever. I trust your opinion on that, but
yeah, I don't want to punish the devs just because of who owns their studio, but yeah. I do think that the game is good enough to, especially because it's truthfully the only game on this list that released this year as a full game.
What a bar.
I would like it to go to that
what
game.
What a high bar we set for ourselves here.
Next up, best RPG.
What a crap.
For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Avowed, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, The Outer Worlds 2. This is a category, dude.
This, in a normal year, this would be the game of the year, I feel like. Category.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I think that this category is specifically made for one game and one game only this year, and that is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like, I think in terms of a game being a purely like role-playing game, dude, this is like fantasy medieval knight simulator, bro. Like, that's what Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is. And I think that it's just like a shoe-in for this one specifically.
Yeah,
I also haven't played it, so I don't know.
Shout out to Obsidian for getting 2 games in this category. I mean, that's wildly impressive when you think about it. To have one studio come out with 2 games that are good enough to be nominated in this category in the same year, when we're in an industry where you're waiting a decade sometimes between entries. Like, I know that they're different teams, but I still think it's really impressive. And yeah, so I beat Avowed, I beat Clair Obscur. I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on a sale last week. I haven't started yet. And I played Outer Worlds 2 for like an hour before we started this episode. And I will say, if we are talking the way that they're describing RPG, like for the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, like if you're thinking about it from what is the most engrossing RPG game of the ones I played out of those 3, my first impression is Outer Worlds 2, because I do think that the way that the trait system works in that game is really cool, even at the very early stages where you pick different strengths, and then you have to pick different weaknesses. If you pick too many strengths, that kind of balance yourself out, that will impact what your dialogue options are and what kind of combat style you're going to do in ways that it feels like it commits to more than a lot of other RPGs, in a way that's very Fallout New Vegas. But people, I think, are so dismissive of Avowed this year, and I don't know why. I really liked that game. I think the combat in it is so fun. I still think about it pretty regularly. I think the overall story is good. The companions are weak. I do think that the companions are pretty bad. There's only one that's decent, and it's probably slightly biased because he's voiced by the same guy who voiced Garrus from Mass Effect. So even him is still not like incredible, but it's just cool to have him around because of that. I do think my prediction is yes, probably that they give Kingdom Come Deliverance to this, because I don't think it will win Game of the Year. my personal vote, if we're just talking favorite game on this list, it would be Clair Obscur. But if we're talking like what I think is the most RPG, based off of my first impressions, I actually think it would be Outer Worlds 2 for the ones I've played. I have also heard what you've heard, that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is one of the most in-depth, engrossing, immersive RPGs you're ever going to play. So I will try to play both of them more by the end of the year so I can speak a little bit more on them.
We'll revisit this at the end of the year and see if your opinion changes. I also don't think that Monster Hunter really stands a chance in this category for some reason. People are not very up on Monster Hunter right now. Lots of negativity from that fan base on this game. I don't know exactly what's up with it. I think it's just lack of content. It doesn't have near as much content as World did on release, or does. So I think people are a little peeved by it. I know a lot of people who have already gone back to Monster Hunter World.
I think, oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah. And I also think it's the PC port, from what I've heard, is that the PC port still is kind of botched, that they really have not done much with it over time. But that's a shame. But
yeah,
what can you do?
What can you do? Best action adventure. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Indiana Jones, and The Great Circle Split Fiction.
This is also an insane category.
We got to this. Yeah, it really is. Until I was going through casting my votes, I did not realize that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came out this year.
Well, it didn't.
Like, that's straight up.
That is the game that I was referencing earlier.
That's what you're talking about.
That it came out last December, so it wasn't eligible for the previous Game Awards. But this is one of the few instances where people actually still remembered it and it got recognition. Unlike Sonic 3. Sorry, Sonic. So good on them. I feel like I very briefly talked about that game back last year on the podcast. I was like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I've actually
talked about it for a good bit. You like that game, I think.
Yeah, I've beaten
pretty sure
Split Fiction, Indiana Jones, and Silk Song, and I've played a good bit of Yotei. Death Stranding 2, man, Michael, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I know we were talking earlier in the year about how I was trying to go back to Death Stranding 1. I played it for quite a while. And then I just fell off and had no desire to go back. And so I don't think...
I want to like those games so bad, dude.
I just don't think they're for me.
I so badly want to be in the loop on them, because the story is so intriguing to me. Like, even just from the first hour or so that I played of Death Stranding 1, like, I could see myself being very, overly into this world. I can make it my whole personality, honestly. I could see it being that deep in me, but I just don't. I can't get the gameplay, dude. I don't know what it is.
It's very weird.
It just doesn't feel right. It's so odd.
It was like something just snapped in me, where I was just kind of going through the motions, and then when I stopped playing it for long enough, I was like, I don't want to go back to it. It's just, I think it is a game that you have to kind of just get in the headspace. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk. I'm just gonna do this, and and the moment that I was playing it, I was into it, and then I left that zone, and I just haven't found myself back there again. But the rest of the games on this list, bangers for me, and I'm sure Death Stranding 2 is as well, but I can't speak to that. Your pick is going to be Silk Song, I'm sure.
It's going to be Silk Song,
because that's the one on here that you've beaten, right?
Yeah, it's the only one that I've beaten, and I even feel like even if I had played the other ones, it might still be my pick. I'm very, very high on that game.
I think Silk Song will win. That's my prediction.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, of these, I mean, Death Stranding 2, again, I don't like using this as the basis for everything, but I do think it's an interesting starting point when you're predicting. Silk Song and Death Stranding 2 are the only two on this category that got nominated for GOTY. So I feel like that does kind of inherently give them an edge. And I think that Silk Song would beat out Death Stranding 2.
My big question mark is like, because I don't really know how the Death Stranding games work. I don't know how much action there really is in there, because all that I've done in that game is walk around with a bunch of boxes on my back. So I don't know if there actually is. I imagine there's some like semblance of an action element in the game, but I don't know if that classifies it for best action adventure as opposed to just being adventure.
There is some in the first game as you go, but like it is heavily de-emphasized. And I've heard that 2 is much more combat oriented or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. Yeah, if you are judging it off of the category criteria, then yeah, I think that hurts that game even more, because I would say that it is not as fit for a game that combines combat with traversal and puzzle solving, because there just isn't that much combat, at least in the first one. But
yeah,
man, it's tough because I'm not as far into Yote as I would like to be. I'm like 10 hours, maybe. Yeah, probably about 10.
That game looks beautiful.
It's great.
I will say that. That's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
Just from what you were showing me, like
at this moment,
the puzzle solving part is what throws me off.
Yeah. I mean, there are like traversal puzzles you can find in the world that you kind of have to figure out how you're supposed to get to the top of this point or whatever. And there's been a couple of points on the map where you're, again, doing side quests where you get a riddle and you have to try and figure it out to get an item. Does Silksong really have puzzles, though? I feel like
it has some puzzles.
It's more like
a ton. It's more
yeah,
like
I know what you're talking about.
There's like some platforming puzzle stuff, like Metroid style puzzles.
Yeah, and there's like that one where it's like hit these bells in the right order or whatever. Like okay, but
they're there, but you know,
you're kind of stressing it. Yeah. Honestly, if we are going purely off of that criteria, it should be Indiana Jones, because that game has actual puzzles and actual
that's
combat.
what I was thinking.
That game actually is the definition of this category based off of the criteria listed here. It wouldn't be my pick, and I don't think it will win, but if we were trying to be objective, I think it actually should be that.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my mind went. Like, I didn't notice the puzzle solving part, and then as soon as I was like, I'm pretty sure that's just this is just Indiana Jones.
It's literally got all of it. It's got traversal, it's got combat, and it's got clear puzzle solving.
No.
You know what? Just to be spicy, that's gonna be that will be my pick for the, because I'm following this criteria. It is not my favorite of these games. Even if I were to include it in this year's list of my own, I think that game actually has some issues, but there were moments that I was really enjoying. I think it's that game gets so repetitive by the end, but yeah, based off this criteria, that's my pick. But I am predicting Silksong.
Okay. Yeah, I can be kind of with you on that. I think I'm kind of the same way. I would really like to see Indiana Jones win something, because I'm pretty sure this is the only category that it's nominated in.
There's one more.
Oh, is there one more?
Technically,
but I would like to see Silksong win. Oh yeah. There is one more.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we will. Good.
Best action game. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. Starting with Battlefield 6. Just okay. Then Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Shinobi: Art of Vengeance. No Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Interesting.
It's so weird, dude. Because like some categories have 6 games, some categories have 5.
I think the only one that
I don't
has
really
6. I was gonna say it's only game of the year, but no, I think Best Performance also has 6, doesn't it? I think those are like two.
Maybe you're.
I think those are two of the only ones.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right. So I don't know why I thought some of these. Oh yeah, Best Family Game.
Oh, that had 6. See, yeah, no, that is weird. That had
Sim
6.
Strategy.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm wrong. I don't know what determines which categories have which number.
Yeah. So that's a little strange for me, because I feel like there's probably another game that could fit over here. I don't have one in mind, but I'm sure that there's another like really good action game this year. And it's not called Lost Soulside.
Oh, boom roasted.
There's definitely a game here that I feel doesn't belong.
You want to know what
even if it's probably
there?
pretty good.
Because they opened this door, they should have put Liza P Overture on there. That's what should be on this list, because we got Shadow of the Ur Tree last year. The fact that Liza P Overture has no representation in the Game Awards is a crime. That's all I'm gonna say for that right now.
Dang,
Pisses me off.
Shade.
Dude. Pisses me off, dude. That DLC is incredible, but get Battlefield 6 out of here, dude. What a stupid nomination in this list. So weird.
I mean, it's weird, but it is an action game for sure.
It's a first-person shooter, brother. What do you?
Yeah, it's a first-person shooters are action games.
Okay, we all know what action we really are talking about here, dude. Like, I just don't like that in this. I mean, because, okay, Doom is in here, and I have no problem with that, because that is an action FPS, whereas Battlefield 6 is like, I don't even know what you would call that genre, like military shooter. I just don't feel like...
Yeah, it's like a military shooter.
I just don't...
I don't mind it being here. I don't think that it's inherently wrong for it to be here. I wouldn't choose it to be there. I also haven't played it, and that's not my kind of game. I can understand it being there, though.
Did you play Ninja Gaiden 4?
I didn't. I was really like ride or die for this game whenever trailers were coming out, and then I never played it, and I don't know why.
You got like 3 weeks, man. It's still time. It's still time.
Yeah, I might. I'll probably pop it in for a little bit, because I really like Platinum. Like, I mean, Platinum, they're just the action game people. Yep. You know. I know people really like Shinobi. You really like Shinobi, right?
I did. That game was really good. I beat it. I enjoyed it. Really good soundtrack, satisfying combat, gorgeous art style.
Art style is so good.
Real pretty. I liked it more than Ragebound at the time. Then I started playing Ragebound again right after it, and I was like, I don't know, they are very close. It just kind of depends on what you're in the mood for, I think.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Doom is a weird one for me, because I feel like I don't know if we talked about it on here or off the pod, but I jumped into Doom the Dark Ages for like a little bit, and I wasn't really vibing with it. I really like Eternal a lot. I would say Eternal is probably in like, it might be in my top 50 games like of all time that I've played. I like the movement in that game and how airborne you are constantly, and then to get to Doom the Dark Ages and it's all grounded and they want you to parry and they want you to shield, and that's not what I want out of my action FPS, you know. Like, I want to be jumping around and going crazy and hitting some crazy movement stuff and 360 no scoping fools and
no scoping fools.
And then there's
That's exactly what Doom is built for.
Yeah. And then there's 82, which I think is just the winner. Yeah. I think it's what I think will win, and it's what I want to win.
I agree. That's my prediction and my pick. I did like Doom. I wish the parry felt a little better. When I think back on that game, like, that parry was kind of janky. I also got every achievement in that game, which I never do with achievements, but I was just enjoying it. But I think that game's great, but it is not without its flaws, in the sense that, like, I don't know, some of the bigger fights in there, it was just really hard to tell where attacks were coming from. It would feel frustrating in ways that weren't fun. But when you are in that Doom like flow state, it is super satisfying.
Oh yeah.
And I like, some people might not like this. The reason I got every achievement is because all you really had to do was find all the collectibles as you went. And that game does something I really love, as for someone who just likes to check boxes, where it will show you on the map as you get close where things are. So you don't have to, as long as you're just paying attention to the map, in theory, you would never miss anything, which
that's kind of cool.
I like. It encourages you to explore these areas. It's not like it straight up says like here's a golden arrow that points you straight to it, but okay, I should look around in this area to find this thing, in a way that let me see. I felt like I had seen everything by the end of that game in a way that I really appreciated. So, but it is Hades 2. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just very clearly Hades 2 in this one.
Agreed.
Best VR AR game for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. I have not played a single VR game this year.
Neither have I, even though I got my MetaQuest.
But I hope it goes to Midnight Walk. I just like how that game looks.
That game looks super dope. That's another one I would really like to play. Marvel's Deadpool VR reviewed way better than I thought it would.
Did it really?
Yeah, it didn't do like amazing, but it was like I thought that game was going to be an absolute stinker. I think it's in the 70s.
That's not bad.
So Ghost Town, dude, that artwork, I don't love that.
Really?
I'm sure it's
Does
not.
it look like AI?
It looks like it's got that AI sheen to it. That was my first
a little bit
instinct. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't want to accuse AI if it's not AI, because that probably feels bad. I'm sure the developers are listening to our podcast, so I don't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I heard good things about Alien Rogue Incursion. Maybe. I think.
Yeah, I've heard people say good things about it.
But as someone who's not played any of these, my gut would say Midnight Walk. That's the game of this list that I was the closest to actually playing, even without VR. And I do hope to still eventually play.
Yep, 100%. Best mobile game.
Okay. Destiny Rising, Persona 5, The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Umamasume, Pretty Derby, Wuthering Waves. It goes to Umamasume, Pretty Derby. That's the one where you race horses and bet on them.
Is that the horse race?
The horse girl one. Yeah, where the girls are the horses. It's that game. All right, next.
Bet. Cool. Yeah, I'm with
it. Best debut indie game. Blueprints. Okay, for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Blueprints, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Despelote, and Dispatch. This game category did have Megabonk in it, but the dev pulled their own game out because they said, I've actually made other games under different aliases or whatever, so this isn't my first game. And just...
Which I think is super respectable.
Yeah, hats off to that person.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
This category is tough.
Yeah.
Because Clair Obscur.
The reason...
Go ahead.
This is so hard for me. So I don't know anything about the Blueprint stuff. I also don't know anything about the Despelote dev. But Dispatch and Clair Obscur... I mean, Dispatch was a bunch of Telltale people, right? Mm-hmm. Clair Obscur was some Ubisoft people with... I don't exactly know all of the info. Part of me wants this to go to Blueprints. If Blueprints is like truly this is this person or this team's like first game that they have ever made and released, part of me kind of would love to see that.
Yeah.
My pick, of course, is Expedition 33, but based on just from like a principle standpoint, I would really like to see Blueprints win.
Yeah, this is really tough when you get down to the minutia of it, because I'm pulled in a lot of ways. I tend to agree with you that I think it would feel best to see Blueprints win. I think that game is a real underdog. I think this is one of the only categories that game is represented in, and I know that it was really loved by a lot of critics. I think it probably was hurt by the fact that I don't think it was localized in as many places as some of these other games. And the critics who are on the nominating jury or whatever for the Game Awards are all over the world, so they probably had a smaller pool to work with. I kind of want Dispatch just because this is the only category it's nominated in. I think because of the way that the release schedule worked, I don't know if people just didn't have time to... I don't know if all the episodes were out by the time that votes had to be in, or if it was just too close of a turnaround or whatever. But obviously, Clair Obscur is my favorite of these. But like, I think there's an argument to be made for any of those three.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like if we're basing it off of like what is the best game on this list, like I think it's Clair Obscur for sure. But there's certain, you know, little things where it's like I kind of lean towards wanting one to win more than the other, but my pick would just be Clair Obscur for sure.
I think my prediction is it actually won't be Clair Obscur because, again, knowing that the critics are the ones who have a large part of the vote, I think that there was some resentment as the year went on from podcasts that I would listen to where people were saying that like, oh yeah, this was made by a team of 30 people. But like when you include all of the people that they outsourced to or whatever, you know, and when you include, when you really break it down, it's more than just 30 people really. And so when you think of a best debut indie game, you know, I think there's some pushback there, especially when you look at how big of a game Clair Obscur is. Whereas Blueprints and Despelote are the two that feel the most indie on this list for sure. My prediction is it will be Blueprints.
You think?
It'll probably be Clair Obscur, but I'll predict Blueprints, and I will cast my vote for Dispatch because, again, I really love that game, and I just don't think it got nominated. I don't think it will get as much love as it should because of when it came out. So,
yeah, I'm with it. That's respectable. Next up, best independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. You gonna help me pronounce this first one, dude? I never know how to say it.
Absalom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Got it.
I don't think it's Absalom. Yeah, Absalom.
Absalom.
Oh
Absalom?
yeah. One of those.
Yeah,
just in,
you know what I'm
in the
talking
editing
about.
page, just pick one of those and it just, you know,
we'll just spin the wheel. Yeah,
whichever you like, you can put for every instance.
Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Expedition 33, Hades 2, Silksong. This is like the category of the year, dude. I think this 2025 I think will go down as like the year of indies. Truthfully.
Have you played Absalom?
Because I haven't played Absalom. I've watched some people play it. It looks cool, dude.
Yeah,
it looks really cool.
I've heard great things, and I do love the art style. I haven't played Ball Pit,
but I've also seen some of Ball Pit, and that game seems like it would be right up my alley.
That feels like that's probably what I should get next on my Steam Deck, honestly. Now that I'm done with Hades, that feels like a really good Steam Deck game, actually.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great Steam Deck game.
What do you think,
but
man?
The fact
this
that
is tough.
I
mean, this is so hard.
This is a hard one, dude. This is like a really hard one. Because, I mean, looking at them, like, I see 3 games that are nominated for Game of the Year. One that was in talks, like, could have been nominated for Game of the Year. And then 2 that have come out, like, more recently that maybe didn't get as much buzz around them, but still got a fair amount of buzz. My pick, I'm going to beat the dead horse. It's Expedition 33, of course. But, like, I can see an argument for literally any of these games, truthfully, especially in Silksong, Hades 2, Expedition, Blueprints. I can see an argument for any of them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be mad if any game on this list won or lost. Straight up.
For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system is such weird criteria. I know this got brought up last year when Dave the Diver was not, or maybe the year before, whatever it was, the year that Dave the Diver was nominated. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's a pixel game, but like, it's not really indie. It was like
Yeah, yeah.
So I just feel like it depends on what your definition of independent is. I think because it's so muddy, at that point, I do just have to go with it. Whatever is my favorite of these, and that would be Clair Obscure. So yeah, that would be my pick. And I do also think that will probably be what wins here, because I think
that's probably what wins.
I just think the criteria is too muddy to like say, oh well, Blue Prince is like a more indie pick, so I'll go for that. I don't think that.
I see it being between
weight.
Expedition and Hades, truthfully.
Really?
I think those are
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like I wish that I thought Silksong stood more of a chance, but I feel like that I don't feel like Silksong is a game like for everybody.
Absolutely.
Whereas I definitely feel like Hades 2 is almost a game for everybody. And Expedition 33, I think made a lot of people come around on turn-based RPGs like being for them. So those are those are the two top spots right there. I think is Hades and Expedition.
Yeah.
Best community support. You know anything about this?
Okay, so this is so confusing because there's best community support, and then the next one is best ongoing. And those two just really feel very similar to me. Okay, this says recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. Which especially that last part, game updates / patches, to me sounds like best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Again, what are we doing with these categories, man? Why are these two separate categories? Like that. What is the difference? I don't understand. Because then when they
also say the thing where like these same games get nominated every year too.
Yeah. Well, it's like inclusive of social media. Like, am I supposed to go like whichever one tweets the best memes? I don't understand. Like, these categories kind of annoy me. But if we're talking community support specifically, like reacting to what the community wants, I guess Baldur's Gate 3 for me, because I feel like that's the least toxic community of these and the ones that are generally the most happy with how Larian handles the game. But
that sounds right.
I mean, I know they released their biggest patch this year with the new classes that they gave to everybody, but again, that's like ongoing support. I don't know what that's community. Whatever. My vote is Baldur's Gate 3, I would probably I would pick that as my prediction as well.
Sweet. Best ongoing.
Again, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Stupid. This is a stupid category. Only in conjunction with the best community support, but it's Fortnite, I think. Only because...
You think it's Fortnite?
I think it's Fortnite. When you look at the scale of which they do their events still to this day, in the amount of content that they do get with all the different crossovers they have, I still think it is mind-boggling in the grand scheme of things that they are able to get some of the things that they do and constantly. They had a Simpsons map that they made for 1 month that it was a completely new map just for that, with a whole new art style and
okay, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
And all that. Yeah. On top of these events that like literally shut the game down and like everyone has to be on live for an experience in real time and all that. Rivals is definitely a game that I probably like more. But I think Fortnite, if I'm being objective, is still the best ongoing game, personally. IMO.
And that, yeah, I mean, you actually make a pretty good argument there. I was going to say Rivals because of just, I mean, I feel like they constantly keep that game so fresh with new characters. Like I haven't played it in probably, I don't know, 4 months, maybe 5 months. But if I went back now, there would be 2 or 3 new characters for me to play. Like I feel like they're pretty good on keeping rosters, updated, and even tweaks to characters, even if some of the tweaks, people don't like so much, as far as like balancing is concerned. But they listen to the community very well. I feel like Rivals honestly should have also been in community support.
I would have, I would have voted for them for community support. And it is actually insane. You're right. They release new heroes every other month. That is mind-boggling. So I think there's an argument to be made for it. I just think Fortnite, for as long as it's been doing it, to still be doing as much as they do with their multiple
it just does
modes
things on a whole nother level than like everybody else. I think you're right on that one.
My prediction would probably be Fortnite too. Yeah.
Okay. Games for impact. This is all you, dude. I've not played any of these.
This is another weird category. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, Consume Me, Despelote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wanderstop. Wanderstop I really wanted to play. It's by the guy who made the Stanley Parable. It's about this warrior who is forced to stop and take a break and work in this tea shop instead, kind of taking the importance of chilling out, not getting burned out. Consume Me, I know, is this game about like I think a girl's journey with kind of trying to deal with certain real life aspects of like, am I don't even want to describe it in such a way that I water it down. It's that game I have heard about and it is really cool, but I haven't played it, so I don't want to speak incorrectly. Despelote, that's come up a couple times. I know it's like an indie game about like soccer and kind of this specific areas cultural impact soccer has for them and stuff too. I know Ben Hansen from MinMax really likes that game. Lost Records Bloom and Rage I heard wasn't even that good. I don't know why it's on this list. I don't know what its message is supposed to be.
I thought I heard that too.
South of Midnight is the one I have played, so by default it would be my pick. That game is cool. It's got some really cool aspects to it. What is the pro-social meaning or message? I don't. It deals with certain things about like, the history of like the kind of culture of the bayou and things like that. I couldn't tell you what the message is, so I don't really. It's got cool aspects of it that are clearly pulling from a very specific culture, like the music and the style and all of that. But it's my vote by default. I think my prediction would be either Consume Me or Despelote. Probably Despelote, just
that's kind of what I was
shown up the
too.
most. But from the descriptions I've heard of them, I actually think Consume Me fits this category the most and sounds the most interesting. But it's hard.
I had never even heard of Consume Me before I started scrolling through these, and you actually didn't give much on it, but it was enough to make me be like, oh, maybe that would be kind of like interesting to play. So you've intrigued me on it.
I know that the MinMax folks really liked it.
Really?
Okay, so here's the description on Steam. This is a direct quote. Did you feel stupid, fat, lazy, and ugly in high school? Well, I did, but at least I made a life simulation RPG about it. And that's the entire description.
That's actually so real.
Now that I'm seeing some of the like gameplay, it's like you're choosing how to spend your time, and based off of like what you do during that time can have different impacts, a la Persona, but it's like very specific to like, okay, well, if I eat too much, then I feel, maybe I'm become self-conscious about that or whatever. It's like you're basically living out your life, but everything that you do has an impact on different aspects. It does look really cool. It's only $15 on Steam. Oh,
really?
You know what? And it's Steam Deck verified. Oh, I wonder if it's. I see a cursor though. I hate when these Steam Deck games want me to like use the mouse pad or whatever. Anyway, I think that game will win it. And if I were to predict, if I had played all these, I would think that would probably be my pick too.
Okay, cool.
Just based off what I've heard.
Yeah. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. I don't know, dude.
Okay, so
I also didn't play any of these.
so what's cool, I will say, is that this is the only category where it says learn about the nominees right here. And when you click on that,
Yeah.
it has like a paragraph or more about each of these and what they have done to be nominated for this.
Oh, this is really cool.
So that's awesome. Because yeah, I feel like even if you have, like, I've played Doom and South of Midnight, but like I don't really dig into the accessibility options that much, so I don't really have a say. But I encourage everyone to go onto the Game Awards website and take, like, I'm going to read through, I'm going to cast all my own votes for this afterwards, and I'm going to take a look through and read all these, and I think that'll help me make a much more informed vote. So that's cool that that's there.
Yeah, for sure. Best performance. Boy, this is a big one.
This is big.
This is a really big one this year. Awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. Ben Starr, Expedition 33. Charlie Cox, Expedition 33. Erika Ishii, Ghost of Yotei. Jennifer English, Expedition 33. Konatsu Kato, Silent Hill F. Troy Baker, Indiana Jones. What a stacked category.
Three Expedition 33 nominees. Kind of nuts.
Crazy.
Kind of nuts.
Absolutely crazy. I don't know anything about Ghost of Yotei or Silent Hill F. I see a lot of people saying that they're really happy that the Silent Hill F voice actress is in this.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Troy Baker did an amazing indie. Like, sounds almost just like him. And then we have 3 Expedition 33 nominees, which is so wild to me, dude. But it makes sense. I mean, these are probably the 3 best performances in the game, I would say, apart from maybe one other character in Expedition 33.
Charlie Cox is great, but I don't think it's on the same level as
I don't think
Ben
so.
Starr or Jennifer English. I
agree.
Think there are potentially, like you said, at least 1 or 2 other people that I maybe would have nominated over him. But I do still think he's great.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to see.
I think that he just portrays like Gustav like so like he's just so endearing and like he makes me love that character so much.
Yeah.
Just in the way that he talks.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal to me. Like I feel like I love that character more than a lot of the other characters in that game. And I mean,
Yeah.
But
yeah. It's funny. I started Ghost of Yotei, like I said, about 10 hours in. There are moments where I really like Erika Ishii's performance, and there are moments where I don't love it, and I don't know how much of that is like a writing thing versus a performance thing. I have not played Silent Hill F. I think all of the Expedition 33 nominees are fantastic, but my vote goes to Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Really?
I think that game, like I said earlier, I like that game. When I think back on it, I feel like it's really repetitive and has some other issues that like kind of make it fall a little bit lower in my head canon. But the one aspect of it that kept me playing even when I was starting to lose interest was just because he is so good. Like his performance, like you said, his version of Indy is so, I've never heard an impression that is that spot on, I think, in my life.
Yeah.
It's so good. Both in a like way that he's interpreting his mannerisms and his actual voice, and also just the way he is, like, you could have a good impressionist who still is like a bad actor, I guess, who's like, okay, it sounds like Elvis, but like,
Yeah.
he's not. I don't want to hear that for forever because his line delivery sucks or whatever. It's like, but it's still the same level of performance you'd expect from Troy Baker. I think they're all the Expedition 33 nominees are fantastic, but Troy Baker to me is literally the best part of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and does something that really elevates that game to another level. Not that the others don't, but his stands out more to me because it elevates it even more in comparison to the stuff around it that is like good to okay, depending on what part of the game you're at. For me,
I think you're probably right. I think it probably will be Troy Baker. I would personally really like to see Jennifer English win.
Yeah,
I love Mael.
I should say my vote is for Troy. My prediction is for Ben. Everyone loves Ben Starr so much, though, man.
Everyone loves Ben Starr. I would love to see
his acceptance,
a recreation of the meme.
Oh yeah, the blinding light.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I do think it's either Jennifer English or Ben Starr.
I think it's got to be one of them too, or Troy. Like it's. I would say that's almost like a lock.
I think
for one of those three.
I think Jennifer English won best performance at like some other like Golden Joysticks Awards or something like that already happened. So maybe that's a sign that it would be her. Like, she is my personal pick for sure. I mean, she's. I think it's between her and Troy. I think it'll be her. That's my prediction. That's my final prediction. Yeah, it's her. Super stacked. Super stacked. Audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotei, Silent Hill F. I've heard really good things about the Battlefield 6 audio design. It's probably the only game that I've heard audio design stuff for. But I feel like that's kind of like military shooters in general anymore. I feel like those are normally like the audio design games. I also hear really good things about Silent Hill F in the audio department. Just gross, disgusting, like squelching noises constantly. Yeah. But that's all of the input that I think I could really have on this. I mean, I've played Clair Obscur. It doesn't stand out to me as having like great audio design, but it's not so much that I would notice if it had like really good audio design. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it just feels so baked into the game already. Yeah, this is tough. Because by default, I think that it is most noticed in a game like Battlefield 6 or Silent Hill F, like the two that you started with, just because those are, horror and FPSs, like, are the ones that probably utilize it the most. Yeah. I think it'll be one of those two. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have strong thoughts on this one because I'd probably pick Clair Obscur just for Renoir's Cane. True. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's the one. But that game also that's the only little part you need. Literal only negative things I could say about that game was some of the lip syncing seeming a little off, which I feel like does somewhat hurt the audio design. I don't know if you categorize that into graphics or audio design, but that, and also, okay, I'm actually gonna knock Clair Obscur down to the bottom of this one on my list now that I think about it, because remember when you said that on your way to the final boss your music cut out? Oh yeah. Mine did too, and it pissed me off. I forgot about that. And I tried to restart it, and then it cut out at the same spot again. Oh really? Mine at least came back. That's weird. Yeah, no. Yeah, I just walked up to the final boss with no music. It's very. But it came back at the boss, right? It came back at the boss. Yeah. That's so weird. Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, I would say I don't think that actually deserves it because it did have some of those audio bugs. And that is more audio design, I feel like, than soundtrack or whatever. But Ghost of Yotei's audio design is fine so far. I don't like, there's some cool aspects where like you can play your shamisen or your instrument there. I don't know if you would consider that again, music or sound design, since it is technically also kind of a gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess by default that would be my vote, but my prediction is my prediction's actually I feel like I'm underestimating Death Stranding 2 because they probably have some weird noises in there. And I remember
Yeah,
that
they
one
probably
trailer
do.
of Troy Baker's character playing the guitar as a weapon. Yeah, it's probably going to be that one.
Yeah.
And I just don't know it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Best score and music leveled up by Spotify, by the way.
It's so weird.
For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Christopher Larkin in Hollow Knight Silk Song, Darren Korb, Hades 2, Lorian Testard,
I think it's Testard.
Clairsphere Expedition Testard, Clairsphere Expedition 33, Toma Oto. Oh no.
I think it's
Ottawa.
Ottawa. I don't know if it's Ottawa or it's probably Ottawa.
Yeah, you're probably right. Gosuyote. And then Woodkid and Ludwig Forcell. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. This is a tough one.
It's not for me.
Like it's Clair Obscure.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, that Hades 2 soundtrack, so good. The music in Silk Song. Okay, the music in Silk Song does not hit the same way that OG Hollow Knight hits for me. Have you played Hollow Knight 1?
Very little.
Very little. Did you ever get to City of Tears?
No.
In Hollow Knight 1? Dude. That game put me in a bad place.
Oh no.
There's one song in that game. You get to this really like depressing city where, you know, the world is ending and
A City of Tears, some might say.
Yeah. And it just plays like the saddest song ever, and like rain is just pouring down, and it does something to you. I feel like Hollow Knight doesn't quite hit that same like level.
There are a couple of tracks.
Or Silk Song doesn't feel that same level.
Yeah, Silk Song. I feel like some of the music isn't that memorable, but some of it is great. I mean, some of the boss tracks, and some of the like the choral chambers, like even just the environmental stuff. Some of those are really good. I do think that all the soundtracks are. Again, I haven't played Death Stranding 2. I've heard that the soundtrack's also great. Ghost of Yotei also has a really great soundtrack, and they all have great soundtracks, but it's just far and away Expedition 33 for me. I mean, I've listened to that. I listened to that before I even played the game because I just love the music in the trailer so much. And then the soundtracks came out, and it's my most listened to thing on Spotify. Thanks for leveling me up this year. Like I'm not posting my Spotify rap because it's mostly just Clair Obscure. Like
that's crazy.
I think that it's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time by a pretty wide margin. Like I would put it in the same echelon as Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts and Persona. Like, man, it is a top 5 of all time for me, for sure. I think the music in that game is unbelievable. It has so much variety. It has so like you have this silly stuff like Minoko's like whoa whoa whoa. Oh,
dude, that song actually slaps so hard. Dude, the sax in that goes absolutely crazy.
And then you have like, you know, the beautiful stuff by Alicia. I forget her name. But the actual artist that they had come in and do the singing stuff. Yeah. You know, you have these more silly, very French, like accordion styles. I mean, they just have such range, and it is all so good. And the battle themes, dude, are just the final, especially the secret final boss fights theme, dude.
Yeah, I'm probably with you there. I think that Expedition 33 will win, and it's probably also my pick. Yeah. There are 2 things that I would like to say for this category though. Death Stranding 2 on the beach does have. I don't know if you followed the Caroline Polachek journey that Roger Picorni has been on this year. Caroline Polachek is in probably like my top 5 or 10 favorite artists. Right now at least, and that whole journey following that and then hearing the song is great. It's probably even better in the context of the game, but Just wanted to shout out Caroline Polachek.
Yeah.
And it is, I know that a lot of people have said this. It truly is a crime that Mario Kart World is not here. This is the one category where if I saw Mario Kart World, it would actually, like, in my head, stand a chance against Expedition 33. I think that that is one of, like, probably the best soundtrack that Nintendo has ever put together.
It is great.
Just in terms of, like, the variation between all of the deep cuts of Mario games, and it's all new arrangements, and, like, I've never felt that way just listening to music in a Mario Kart game before.
It is great, and the soundtrack for 8 was great too.
Soundtrack for 8 was very good.
My weird complaint is that the audio mixing in that game is really weird to me. Like, I
do agree with that.
I have had to turn my TV up so loud to hear the music that I feel like a lot of the times when I'm playing and I'm, like, really focused in, I'm not. That it just hasn't soaked into me as much as I wanted it to, because I think the audio mixing is kind of bad in it. But whenever I do hear it just on its own, I'm like, yeah, this is great. But don't worry, Andrew. They put out a patch recently where you can adjust the volume settings, not, on a scale from 1 to 10 like you might think. It's normal or loud. Those are your two
cool.
choices.
No, great. Thank you so much, Nintendo.
So
Thank you.
Maybe that'll fix it.
Listen to us so well. Freaking idiots over there, dude. They're pissing me off, man. Remember when I said they pissed me off like 8 times this year? Make it 9. Make it 9.
They're so weird, man.
But yeah, Expedition 33, I think, wins that pretty dominantly.
It gets the PP, the prediction and the pick for me.
Ooh.
There you go. Best art direction for outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Nominees include Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. This is a tough category. What do you think, Andrew?
It's so hard, dude. Like, because I feel, okay, Yotei is the one that I probably know the least about in this, so I can't say too much on it. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is possibly, like, the prettiest game that I've ever played in my life.
It is gorgeous.
I also think that, like, Death Stranding is possibly one of the most, like, realistic games that I've ever seen, just in terms of, like, character modeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hades 2 and Hollow Knight Silksong just have, like, banger art styles. Like, absolute banger art styles. I love how those games look. This might be, like, the hardest category for me this year, because I think that every game here, like, truly, like, deserves it. I wish we could hand out 4 or 5 trophies on this one.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made for any of them, and I think that it's muddied by the fact that it's for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Like, those are all, like, technical versus creative, artistic design and animation. Like, those are 4 different things to consider. I feel like I think when I think art direction, I personally lean the most towards creative artistic design, or like a very specific style. And so because of that, my pick is Ghost of Yotei, because I think that game has the most sauce when it comes to the art style it leans into. Like, it is not always the most technically impressive, but it can be. They just released this patch that I was showing you when you were over, the balance patch, where you can have 40 frames, targets 40 frames, and has ray tracing. And that makes the game just look incredible at a lot of times. But what really sells it for me on that one is the way, when you go into the photo mode of that game, dude, the amount of intention that they put behind all of the different elements of that game that lead into any given frame or any artistic moment is so insane. Like, the way that you have these giant fields that are vistas purely for like you to just soak in visually, like the way that the aspect ratio can change when you're on your horse to make it more cinematic. The fact they have these Kurosawa modes and lo-fi modes that completely, you can play this entire game in black and white with a filter over it if you want.
Really?
Yeah, because like for the
That actually sounds pretty
Kurosawa
sweet.
mode, and it's like they are just so intentional in creating this very specific art style. And like you have these splash screens constantly whenever you're getting a new quest that has like the katakana and like the name of it while you're there. It's like it is the most intentional and unique with its art style, in my opinion. So that's why I would go with Ghost of Yotei.
You've sold me on it. That actually,
it's just crazy
in terms of like an art standpoint. Like
Yeah.
that just sounds. It sounds so like intentional in the sense that like this is what they want to win.
Yeah.
This is their category.
To me, I think when people think of like Ghost of Tsushima and Yotei, it's like what makes them like the combat is very fun and stuff like that. I think people like the story for what it is, but I think the reason these games have stood out the most is because of the sauce. And also you get to add in the historical aspects that they bring into it. Like they are constantly giving you these new cosmetics that are cool, and you could say just a cool artistic design, but they are all based off of different aspects of like Japanese history and culture. Like the masks aren't just made up. It's like masks that you would see from that era in a way that like for them to also be able to convey that now is so cool, I think, and also a part of the artistic direction, in my opinion. So my prediction,
but Expedition 33, bro, like
I
think that's one of my favorite like 3D art styles of any game that I've ever seen. It's one of the first like 3D games that I can think of that has like a definitive like art style almost, with so much of like the painting or like painter like kind of like input. I don't want to say input. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but all of like the cool little stuff that they add in there that like just makes everything pop a little bit more. All of the like super colorful and influence. Yes, thank you. All of the environments, like every time that you go into a new area and it just has like a whole new theme, or I mean, I remember getting to that underwater area for the first time and just being like, this is like one of the craziest things that I've ever seen in a video game ever.
Yeah.
I think for me, like it has to go to that. Just because, I mean, and even in the trailers, whenever the trailers are coming out, and we were both like, this game like has to be too good to be true, and it's not, dude. Like it looks like that, and it stays looking like that the whole time. It is a visual like spectacle for the entire game.
That's totally fair. I feel like some people, rag on like the Unreal look or whatever, but it doesn't bother me. I agree. I think it's gorgeous. I agree with everything you said. I think that, I don't know, what do you predict will win?
Truthfully, I actually think it'll be Death Stranding.
Really? I mean, it is the most
I have like
impressive.
an inkling. Yeah. I just have like a gut feeling it'll be Death Stranding.
Seeing the before and afters of like, because I was playing Death Stranding 1 this year, like I said, and I was like, man, this game still looks really good. I not like with the caveat for a PS4 game, like this game just looks really good. Like Norman Reedus looks like Norman Reedus
in general.
And then I saw the before and after of Norman Reedus and Death Stranding and Norman Reedus and Death Stranding 2, and I was like, how is this possible, dude? Like I already thought this looked so good, and this man looks real. Yeah, I'm gonna predict Ghost of Yotei because I'm gonna try and will it into existence. That's my prediction. Because, like you said, I think that's its thing. And again, it not being nominated in everything, I would hope maybe this would be where it gets some stars.
Or it gets a little, yeah, for sure. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Only
best narrative.
A few more, dude. This is for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Clear Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. This is actually funny. I almost got Silent Hill F at the same time I got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Outer Worlds 2 because of its amount of nominations it got. But I was like, I'm not gonna have time to play this. I'm not gonna have time to play Outer Worlds and Kingdom Comes either. But like, I definitely won't have time for 3. I've heard that story's great. Obviously, I've heard great things about Kingdom Come. I'm not blown away by the story of Yote so far. That is, again,
that's kind of what I hear from a lot of people. I hear from a lot of people that it's middling, or I mean, just not as good as Tsushima.
I'm not that far in,
which seems to be
narratively, I guess, because I'm doing a lot of side stuff, so it could pick up. There have been cool moments, but I saw an article where someone was bashing, like, I'm sick of PlayStation having all these revenge tales, and like, I think they were like roping in God of War, Last of Us, and Ghost of Yotei all together, or like the Ghost games, and like, I don't think God of War deserves to be in that category. I feel like it's a very different type of game, but I will say Yotei does feel in a lot of ways the most like I don't want to say derivative, but derivative of either its own previous game, Ghost of Tsushima, or like Last of Us 2. Like, it's such a single-minded person with only revenge on the brain in a way that, like, yeah, it does give a little bit of a sense of been here, done that so far, at least. But the way you can tell that story is really cool because you can basically go in whatever order you want to do things. So I will give it its flowers there. But for me, it's Expedition 33 by default, unfortunately, with the category, the nominees here.
I'm with you. Like, I mean, it definitely is Expedition 33. I could see an argument for Death Stranding just because from what I've seen of that game and what I've heard of that game, I'm sure that story is insane. It's a Kojima game.
Yep.
Like, you know, he just tells incredible stories. I think I've also never played a Metal Gear game, which is a big blind spot for me. But I know he's into some wacky crazy stuff. I like wacky crazy stuff. I'm sure that this story is absolutely bonkers, balls to the wall the whole time. But for me, it's Expedition 33.
Yeah,
absolutely. I do kind of wish that Hollow Knight got up here just a little bit.
Dude,
the storytelling and how it gives it to you is not, you know, you got to piece it all together a little bit. But the story of Silksong is actually kind of crazy. The story of both the Hollow Knight games is crazy. You got to watch a YouTube video or two to understand it. But it's really interesting. I would maybe even, I mean, with just how you were talking about Yote, I would probably slot that in where Yote is. I wouldn't pick it. I would still pick Expedition 33.
That's so dirty, dude. Let me just knock this other game out. But I don't, I can't say for sure. No, I don't know, man. I remember Barrett came on the mic or something like that when they were going through this. It kind of funny saying that he thought Silksong should be nominated for narrative. And it's like, that's a great game, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't see that personally. Like, I know there is story there, but I don't love the way that it's...
I beg you, go look up a YouTube video, bro. It's so interesting.
I watched one.
It's very, very cool.
It is cool. It's just, I don't know.
You would never figure it out on your own.
Exactly.
Is my thing.
Which to me is a negative, personally. I don't...
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But I also think it will be Expedition 33. It is either going to be 33 or Death Stranding 2, IMO.
Yeah. 100% agree. Game direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Expedition, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, Split Fiction. This is a tough one, I feel.
We've said that a lot. But I think we've minted every time.
Yeah.
It's just, this is like kind of a crazy year.
In my head, this is the Kojima Award. The same way that I feel like, you know, if a FromSoft game was up here, it's the Miyazaki Award.
Yeah.
But we've got two juggernauts up here in Kojima and Joseph Ferris, okay? Don't sleep on Joseph Ferris, okay?
Yeah.
I don't really know on this one, man. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I could see Death Stranding 2 sneaking up and me just really underestimating it because it's one of the ones I haven't played. You know, I've kind of forgot how many times it got nominated as we've gone through this list. So it's clearly resonated with a lot of people. For me, it's very clearly between Expedition 33 and Split Fiction. To me, Yote, if we're talking about outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, again, Yote's claim to fame, I guess, is that you can kind of approach the story in whatever way you want, but I don't think that's enough of a unique aspect to put it as a winner in my mind. Hades 2 is great. I don't understand why it's nominated for this. It's like, what is... Okay, so it's got 2 paths you can take instead of 1. Like, I just don't quite understand.
I think a lot of it to do is with like there being like so much dialogue and like so much like actual story and stuff in that dialogue, and how deep a lot of that kind of stuff goes, as well as like, I mean, there's that whole side of it, plus, you know, the combat side of it, where you can build up so many different ways that are all interesting. I don't think that I had a single bad time during combat in that game.
How do you feel about the backpack?
I think that it, and I think that it's balanced.
How do you feel about the jetpack?
Okay, all right, no. Chill. I think it's bad. I didn't have a bad time with it. I think that it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess you could make the argument that Split Fiction is similar in direction to It Takes Two, but I feel like it evolves on that formula way more than Hades 2 did from Hades 1, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's very close between Clair Obscur and Split Fiction for me. I think it has to go to Clair Obscur because the fact that they evolved the turn-based genre so much. I know that people say like Lost Odyssey, I think, is kind of a game that did a similar thing before, but that game was so under the radar. I feel like that this is definitely one that popularized it at the very least, to certainly to modern standards, to have the dodge, parry, real-time mechanics mixed with the turn-based gameplay. I mean, that's that alone, on top of the way that they choose to tell the story. And with its very French styles, I mean, there's a lot of aspects of it that I think that, to me, make it pretty. That's definitely my pick. Yeah, for sure. Like that is my pick, absolutely. But I could see this going to Death Stranding or Split Fiction for sure. I think prediction wise, it'll either be Death Stranding or Clair Obscur. I think maybe Clair Obscur. Yeah. And here we go.
The big one.
Game of the Year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Andrew, read them out for us.
Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's
kind of crazy seeing Donkey Kong here when we haven't seen it for like the last 45 minutes as we've been going through this list. Like so like many of these.
Long time, like, right?
Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2 especially, like we've seen constantly. Hades 2 and Silksong we've seen a lot, and Kingdom Come and Deliverance we've seen a couple of times. But Donkey Kong is like literally, it's just this and Best Family Game, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of nuts.
It is the only game on this list as Mr. Nintendo that I would be genuinely pissed off if it won.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It's just,
I would be very, very upset if DK wins.
I think it's a little out of its league here, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's so far below all of the, I mean, every other game on this list.
Why
is just pure quality, dude.
I just had a flashback to 30 minutes ago. Why isn't that in place of Battlefield 6 for best action game?
True.
Like,
honestly, yeah.
It's definitely more of a,
I could see
is it because it's a platformer? Because it's definitely not a platformer, I'll tell you that. All right.
It's not a platformer.
It ain't no platformer. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking.
This is so hard, man. Like, we know what the pick is. It's Expedition.
It is. That's my pick, and that's my prediction.
That's my pick, and also my prediction. But I mean, look at this list right now, dude. This is gonna be the year of indies.
If I could just,
people will talk about this being the year of indies forever, dude. 50% of our Game of the Year noms are indie games.
If I could just stop time for like a week so I could play more games, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 would also, I'm sure it is great. I've heard so many good things. And I got it. Like, I'm going to play it. I'm going to at least touch it before, I pick we do our end of the year stuff. But even just Clair Obscure, Hades 2, Silk Song, pretty crazy.
Like, those are like my 1, 2, and 3 picks, like in no particular order except for Expedition 33 at number 1. I don't know where I sit on Hades 2 versus Silk Song in my head at the moment. I'm still kind of fighting with myself over it.
That'll be a fun discussion for later.
I mean, yes.
Tune into our end of the year episode.
I think that this is one of the most stacked Game of the Year, like nominee years like we've ever had.
Yeah,
probably.
It's been a good
with games that, like, I agree with every one of these games being up here except Donkey Kong. It's just been a great year.
It's been a good year for gaming.
I'm very happy with this.
I just wish Dispatch had come out earlier, man. I wish Dispatch had come out earlier. I think it.
Do you think it would have stood a chance to be up here? Or you think it just would have gotten nominated for more stuff?
I think it definitely would have gotten nominated for more. I think there's a chance it takes Bonanza's spot. I do.
Really?
I think so.
Do you think that takes Bonanza's spot over Split Fiction?
Yeah, I guess that is a tough call.
Because that's the game that I thought was a shoe-in for Game of the Year this year.
Yeah, the more I think about Donkey Kong being there and Split Fiction not being, the more mad I get. So I can't dwell on that. I can't do it. No, maybe it wouldn't have gotten Game of the Year, but certainly would have got it nominated for Best Narrative, maybe Best Art Design. There probably would have been some Best Performance nods for like Aaron Paul and stuff. I just would have liked to see it get a little more love because I do think it's a great game. But that's the way it goes with time and all that stuff. So
and all that jazz.
Well, that is our wrap up for the Game Awards 2025 nomination. Jesus, I can't talk. Nomination predictions and picks.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah,
a lot going on. And we're only a couple days away, dude. I can't wait to see. God, I hope we get some hype announcements, man.
Dude, I thought about that.
I'm itching
to the fact I was like,
there's something crazy.
We should have had a whole prediction segment where we just go through what we think will be announced there, but that'd take another hour, I'm sure.
Dude, that's the whole thing. Yeah, probably would.
Okay.
I can't even think, like, anytime that we ever get to Game Awards season, I never know what to even expect. Because last year, bro, what did we get? We got Okami sequel announcement, which is like the craziest possible thing I could ever even imagine. I feel like there was like 4 or 5 Witcher 4.
That's why it's on this
Intergalactic.
That's why it's there, bro. Because Jeff said, "Oh, well, now that we're buddy, maybe you could. I'll throw you a ball. Make sure people don't forget this game's coming for the best upcoming game, even if it's 5 years away." The only prediction I'll ask: over under. What are the odds we see Kingdom Hearts 4?
Kingdom Hearts 4, literally like 1%.
Okay, what do
I don't think.
What are the odds we see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3?
30%.
Yeah.
I think Remake Part 3 comes out before we even get another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. If I'm being honest with you.
You think it comes out before we get another trailer? Is that what you just said?
A little bit, yeah. Honestly.
No way. No shot.
Like, I hope not. But at this rate, dude, it's like we as Kingdom Hearts fans, bud, we know the boat that we are in, okay?
They swore it wouldn't take as long
trailers.
this time. They swore.
And they lied. And they'll always lie. And that's just the way that we live our lives, man. We just gotta we have to come to terms with who we are and how we cope with our, with our problems.
Yeah.
This is becoming a therapy session for you, Chris. I'm very sorry.
I can't dwell on it. What are the odds we see Duskbloods?
Duskbloods. I think that's Nintendo Direct. I don't think that we see it here.
What are the odds we see anything from Software? Could be more Elden Ring DLC. Seems unlikely since literally that just came out for Night Rain. I don't think we're getting more regular Elden Ring. It could be Bloodborne 2, obviously. Bloodborne remake.
If we see anything, I think it'll be. I mean, I think it could be Duskbloods. I don't. There's a chance that we see it there, but I think that Nintendo wants to save those for their big showcases.
I low-key think From is worried after how poorly the Elden Ring port was running on Switch 2. I bet Duskbloods is in a similar boat. I bet it runs like doo-doo.
I hope not. I hope it's fire.
I hope so too. That leads us to the titular tier list of this Teardrop Pod episode. We didn't say the number of the episode at the beginning. Is this number 14, I think, or is this 13?
Oh God, I am not the person to ask.
Hold on.
It's one of those numbers for sure.
Because if it's 13, like we gotta say something, right? It's gotta be.
It's
hold on.
Number.
Yeah, this is good content.
This is 15.
This is 15.
This is 15, buddy. The big 1-5.
I didn't make an Organization 13 joke 2 episodes ago.
I guess not. I wasn't here. I don't
know. That's what you're all here for,
need
right?
to get a fucking life, dude.
All right. So we are about to go through every single Game of the Year Game Awards winner. Now, some caveats here. I'm trying to find the exact history because it starts, I guess, if you're counting the Game Awards as they are now, roughly, not the Spike TV Awards or Spike Game Awards or whatever they were called before, which Jeff Keighley still did, and like it evolved into this. Oh,
we still have all of those games on this. If we like really felt like
that's crazy. This man, for audio listeners, he just scrolled down to show the secret extra Game of the Year choices here. I didn't know you had that ready. That's hilarious.
This is the extra section for our Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to pay a little
for a fake Patreon.
Pay a little extra. It's this Patreon just links straight to our Venmo accounts. Dang, looking at them though, these are some good games down here, dude. That's crazy.
Like RE4, Oblivion, BioShock, GTA 4, Uncharted 2, Red Dead 1, Skyrim, Telltale's Walking Dead. I did not know that one Game of the Year, and then GTA 5.
Kind of ridiculous. That there's 3 GTAs. GTA. What? I can't read that from here. Is that San Andreas?
That's San Andreas.
San Andreas 4 and 5.
5.
And yet 5 didn't make the cut. Or not 5. No. Red Dead 2 is what I was meant to say. It's good. It's late. Yeah. For those of you who are a little peek behind the curtain, we took a little break. It's a little later. I'm foggy here, but we're gonna get through this.
The craziest part of this, though, I think, is that like GTA 5 has never been, or the Grand Theft Auto series has never been a Game Awards winner. It has been that long since it's come out.
Yeah,
this many games have won Game of the Year between actually. GTA 5 and GTA 6 coming out.
That's insane. That is insane, dude. Why did games take so long?
A lot of polygons, dude.
There are
a lot of polygons to put in there.
And we're going to count every single one of them for each of these games. So hope you're all strapped in and ready to go.
Jesus Christ.
No. So how do you want to tackle this? I see you have them in order from oldest to newest. So they begin in the year 2014, right? Is that the first one?
Yeah.
2014 was the first one in this iteration of the Game Awards. Do you want to start from the oldest and then go to the newest?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we just go year by year. Start at 2014 and just head up.
So I just want to
also, real quick, for those of you seeing Expedition 33 down here, we've made the bold assumption with 11 nominations, the most nominations in the Game Awards history, this is winning the Game of the Year
Look,
this year.
it's not even just a bold assumption. It is the fact that we have made that as a prediction, and we're so confident in our predicting abilities that we know that will be the winner. And if it's not, then you can all
Right.
laugh, make fun of us in the comments, and then we'll come back next episode and adjust accordingly. But
Exactly.
yeah, I just want to name all of these games so that audio listeners can be thinking about what we're about to have to try to separate into tiers. So 2014 Game of the Year was Dragon Age Inquisition. Then 2015 was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. 2016 was Overwatch. 2017 was Zelda Breath of the Wild. 2018 was God of War. 2019 was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. 2020 was The Last of Us Part 2. 2021 was It Takes Two. 2022 was Elden Ring. 2023 was Baldur's Gate 3. 2024 was Astrobot. And we are predicting that 2025 is going to be Expedition 33. That's quite a list of games, Andrew.
Those are some games right there, dude. Like those really are, I think, the best of the best, man.
So I think we did this sort of last week with the Mario tier list. There's no C, D, F tiers here today. We have a B, an A, an S, and an S plus, and even that may need some adjusting as we go here. But we're talking the best of the best. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty top heavy list, but we are going to rank them in order. Now, we should also probably say before we start, I have played and beaten, I think I said this earlier, every single game on this list except for Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I have played a lot of, but I have not beaten. Otherwise, though, I have played and beaten. How many of these have I actually? I was going to say I've actually platinumed some of these, but I've only platinumed 3. Yeah, I platinumed It Takes Two.
I was gonna say, I was thinking whenever you were reading out all of the tiers that we have, I was like, maybe I should get rid of B before you have a chance to put Breath of the Wild there. B for Breath of the Wild.
You read my mind, dude. You knew where I was going. So,
also for the record, I have not played. I said it earlier in the episode. I've only played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these games.
Okay, that's a good bit though. Which ones haven't you played?
I haven't played Dragon Age. I haven't played The Witcher. I haven't played Sekiro, Elden Ring, or Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy that you are
yeah, I know.
putting me in that position because
I'm putting a lot of trust in you right now.
Okay.
To rank these fairly.
Okay.
And where Breath of the Wild doesn't get shammed.
Oh, I'll be fair. All right.
Okay. You little shit.
Let's just dive into it. I think one of the easiest ones here is actually going to be the first one, Dragon Age Inquisition. I think this is pretty far and away the bottom of the list. I think this is it is a fine game. Like I played it a decade ago, so I really don't remember that much of it, to be completely honest. I would say that it was. I have the list pulled up here. What else was nominated that year? Right. Okay. So we had Dragon Age Inquisition, Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Hearthstone, and Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Oh man, that's a stinky year, dude. That's a Bayonetta 2 for me right there. I love Bayo 2.
At that time, it would have easily been Hearthstone for me. But even if it wasn't Hearthstone, I would actually put Dragon Age. I haven't played Bayonetta 2. I've played Hearthstone, Dark Souls 2, Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, and Dragon Age Inquisition. I would personally put Dragon Age Inquisition at the bottom of that list. It's
wow.
It's not a bad game.
Oh
like
God.
I don't remember disliking it, but it is kind of just, I don't know. It is not nearly as strong as the Mass Effect series in my mind, which I will also be completely transparent here. I had not played the other Dragon Ages leading up to it, so I didn't have the full context. I'm sure it would have hit harder if I had played the other ones, but I remember enjoying it. Like the combat, I remember liking decently. There are some cool set pieces in it. There are some big decision making things. I remember some of the party members being pretty interesting, but I just remember the environments being kind of boring to navigate. It was pretty long. I feel like I remember thinking it was like a little longer than it needed to be, but the side content I don't think I loved. It's a fine game. It's a fine game, but in this list,
It's just like
where we're talking about some of the best games ever made, like it's kind of like, bro, you're a little out of your weight class. You're a little out of your weight class, man.
Yeah. I also think this was a point in time where people were still like on the BioWare like hype train.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't feel like that's too much of a thing anymore, because they've
had a rocky
there
road.
Was Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Yeah, it's been really rocky since even Mass Effect 3. I mean, I guess this was Mass Effect 3 was before this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. If Mass Effect 2 was in the place of that, I would say, okay, now we have a conversation. Now this is like S tier probably, but yeah, just not the best of the best. Next up, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, this is one of the other ones you said you haven't played, right?
I haven't played. I know I need to play it. It's just so daunting. I know that it's a massive, huge RPG, and it's always like interested me, but I don't know. It's very intimidating.
It is huge. I think it was one of the first games that really showed that you can make really morally gray choices in your games to have a little bit more nuance with how you want to do your choice-based games, and like specifically for RPGs. Again, this was one, full disclosure, I didn't play the DLC, which I know people really loved, but of course that wouldn't have been considered at the time either for the Game of the Year awards. And I had not played 1 and 2. So they do a pretty good job of trying to catch you up, but you are still jumping in on the third game in a series. I remember really, really liking this game. Do you want me to make you really angry right now, though, Andrew?
I've come in expecting it. Go ahead and say it.
So I'm going to read you the other games that were nominated this year.
Oh, dude, I know Super Mario Maker is on this list.
Super Mario Maker was also nominated.
It's the only one that I remember. I don't know why.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Fallout 4, and I guess I said this was going to make you angry, but I actually don't know since you're so young in your Soulsborne journey. But Bloodborne was also nominated in 2015.
I mean, brother, come on.
That's tough.
That's a Bloodborne W if I've
tough.
ever heard one.
Now, The Witcher 3, I would say, has like maybe aged a little better as far as like if you were to go back and play it. People I know obviously still love Bloodborne, but like it's gotten a lot more love and care over the years, whereas Bloodborne, Sony like Super Nintendo doesn't exist anymore. I just think it's interesting to look at these as we go. But
no, that's really cool.
The Witcher 3 is a fantastic game. It is one that emotionally did not hit for me incredibly hard, just because I think I didn't have that context. I was kind of coming in fresh, but I do think it was a huge step forward for what RPGs could be. I also will say combat in The Witcher 3 a little clunky, and I think it's kind of intentionally so. Like it's supposed to be
kind of look like
a little bit more grounded. But I'd actually bounced off of the game at first, and I came back to it later because I didn't like the combat so much initially. But it is a great narrative. I remember I had a friend watching me play it who had played before, and he was watching me near the end, and he was like, I don't want to like spoil this for you, right? But he's like, you're probably going to want to be careful with some of these dialogue options you're making here. And I was like, okay. And it's like the game, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I think the game tries to make it so that it's not like some of these choice-driven games where you feel like you just make one decision at the end that ultimately is the actual big decision that impacts everything. And sometimes maybe some of your smaller decisions don't have as much of an impact throughout. But because of that, there were certain decisions that was like, okay, this doesn't feel like it should necessarily be as pivotal as it is. And then at the end you see, okay, this was kind of playing into the bigger picture all along. And I feel like if I had gotten a bad ending because of that, I would be kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but there was nuance to it, and I do think that the world itself is super interesting, super fleshed out. The characters are really cool. This game is great. I would say it's like a 8.5 game, maybe a 9. Again, we are talking about some of the best of all time, though. So for me personally, I would say this is like A tier. Personally,
Okay, I think that's fair. Probably,
but
I don't know. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Just because I do think at the end of the day, the combat and the alchemy and stuff like that, some of the systems are a little clunky, in my opinion, and you could argue that I guess it's somewhat intentional, but it is not a perfect game. And
right.
There's some almost perfect games on this list.
There's some way more, like, at least close to perfect games.
Yeah.
Or actual, like, genuine perfect games.
In my opinion, I think it's a very important game. I think that it was huge for the time, and I do still one day want to go back to the DLC. But next up, we've got a bit of a doozy here, Andrew. We have
this is a little bit of a doozy.
Blizzard Entertainment's Overwatch. Can you tell me
This is Overwatch 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We have to think of this as Overwatch 1. We cannot let our current, or at least my current, gripes and problems with this game.
That's something to consider here, right? Like, are we judging the game as it was in the year it won Game of the Year for all of these? Really,
that's what I would do.
Okay,
that is what I would.
Because that also means, I mean, and technically that would be a ding on the game as well, in the sense that this is like before the roster had expanded to some huge number or whatever, right? Like we're talking borderline base Overwatch.
Trying to think who the like base roster even was, or like how small it was.
It was like 20 or something. Ana was the first DLC character. I remember that.
Whoa, you're right. Whoa, that's so weird to think about, dude.
Yeah.
Back when Cassidy's name was McCree.
Yeah, back when Symmetra was a support.
Oh my god, I forgot about that, dude. Back when we had defense characters.
Yep. Attack, defense, tank, and support.
Oh, that's so weird. I completely forgot about that.
So tell me a little bit about your history with Overwatch.
I didn't get into Overwatch until really late. I used to watch Paul play it a lot. And then I bought a PC that like barely ran it, and I played it on there a good bit. And then I got a PlayStation 4, and then I grinded, dude. Like I got so addicted to this game. Maybe 2017. Yeah, probably 2017. I got really, really into it. I put maybe 300 or 400 hours into it total. Trying to think of who I even mained. I flipped around so much. I think I landed on being like an off tank main. It was a big Zarya main.
Hog or Zarya or
Zarya and Hog. Those are my two. I didn't like Winston for a long time, and then he finally grew on me one day. I was like, oh no, I get it, dude. I get it.
I'm buns with him, but he can be very effective.
And then the meta started getting a little too not where I wanted it to be, so I hopped out. Back when, remember goats?
Oh, do I? Yep. Yeah.
That was when I started not having fun. Even though I was a tank player, so it didn't matter, but it still wasn't fun to watch or play. So we just stopped playing and we moved on to Fortnite.
Wow, as the natural evolution would demand. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, we had a great time with it. I mean, it's still probably the only like hero shooter that I played. I guess besides Valorant, I don't know if you want to count Valorant as that. It's definitely like a different style of game. But I never played any like Team Fortress or like anything like that. So this was like my first like real dive into something like that, and it really was like game changing for shooters for me. So I was really big into it. I know that you're really big into it.
Yeah, I actually lied earlier when I said that I had 3 games that I platinumed. I have 4 games that I platinumed on this list, and one of them is Overwatch.
That's That's crazy.
I don't even want to say in a public space where it will be recorded how many hours I have in this game. It's more than you, is what I'll say.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not that yours is anything to scoff at. This game was in my top 5 of all time at one point. I mean, I think
Wow.
that from a mechanical standpoint, this is the most fun and most consistent game I played for the longest. I do think it's really fallen off, and I do think that it wasn't that polished at the start, right? But I played this game from the beta, or like from launch day, I'll say. At least I was there on the first day, and I took like 1 year off, kind of in the middle, I think around when Sigma came out or something like that, probably around 2019.
Yep.
And I fell off, and then I had some friends who wanted me to play on console, and I got it on a sale because I primarily played on PC before that. Got it on console, and then I started playing a lot on there. And then I had another friend group, Fahad and them, who were really into it when I first met them a couple years ago. And then I had like a whole new era where we were playing all the time. So it was like 8 years or so with like a 1 year break where I was playing this a lot. And
that's pretty consistent. That's a lot.
I just think the funniest thing in the world, dude, is I had a friend who was a huge Blizzard head, and he was the one who got into the beta. I think I maybe played the beta at his house or something like that. And he was like super into this because he was a big Blizzard guy, and he was like, I think it's going to be really cool. And I remember when I found out this game was going to be full price, which was what, $50 or $60 at the time, and it was only going to be, it was going to be multiplayer only. I was like, why would I spend my money on that, dude? That sounds terrible. Like, I'm not going to spend full price on a multiplayer only game, which is a very different time, obviously. I say that. Now this game would be free to play. Now this game is free to play, but but I had to be convinced to buy this game, and then it became my obsession, and I played it so much longer than he did. I mean, he fell off after like a year tops, and I just kept on going.
Who was your main, bro?
Zenyatta was probably my favorite.
Okay.
I did also love Hog. I would play a lot of Rhine for main tank. I liked Cassidy for deeps, but I would play a good bit of Soldier just to be, I was trying to just be consistent, man.
Soldier's good at being consistent.
I was getting bodied. All right, deeps is a tough role to play. Reaper was actually probably my favorite, my most efficient deeps, but
Reaper is fun, dude.
I mean,
this game gets so much more fun, I feel, too. Like once you actually start to learn like the mechanics of the game, and like you slowly see yourself like evolve. Once you learn that like ults can combo off of one another, I think that's when the game starts to get like really fun, and it starts to click more and more. Like when Zarya ults, and then you send Diva Bomb in there, and then you wipe the whole thing. Like it's the most satisfying feeling whenever you actually start, especially if you get a room full of your friends who will actually listen to you, and not the toxic player base that I often ran into when I was stuck in gold for like 2 years. And even not even just ults too. I mean, I remember when Orisa came out. Remember when Orisa had like that?
She had her shield.
Orb that she would pull
actually
out?
Had a shield.
Wait, does she not have a shield anymore?
No. Now she like spins her javelin, and it like reflects projectiles, and
look how they massacred my boy. Oh no.
Yeah, it's hilarious because there's a hero outro that plays like the MVP animation that was from the summer event, like the soccer ball one, where she'll like she's like showcasing all of her tools, and one of them is the shield. And I'm like, that's not even in the game anymore, but you can still have it in your MVP intro. It's so funny.
But it was like whenever she got the orb, she would shoot it up, and you could shoot it like above like a Rhine shield or something, pull somebody up there, and then me as Roadhog pull them from the orb. Oh dude, like it's like the best feeling ever, man. And then it just all went like downhill.
Yeah.
once they announced Overwatch 2 and made all of these really empty promises that they never really kept, and I would like to not judge it off of that. I'm gonna really try not to, because it's left a really, really bad taste in my mouth.
Even at the tail end of Overwatch 1, though, I think they really started to flounder with how slow they were between content updates, how the seasonal events were always the exact same Like they've been struggling for a long time, and the argument was that, well, we are working on Overwatch 2, and then yes, they absolutely lied and floundered a lot of what they said they were going to do with that game too. So,
Yep.
I do
Where's
think
my single player content, man?
we need to
Come on.
dude. I
My
got bad
PvE,
news. I got
where
some
is
bad news. Yeah, that game, as it was in 2016,
16.
I would say it is S tier.
I agree.
I think at its peak, I would call it S plus tier for me personally. Like I said, I think that was in my top 5 favorite games of all time. And it's definitely fallen out since. I think mechanically, it just feels, when it's firing on all cylinders, it feels like one of the most polished games I've ever played. And there is so much depth to it, and it is so fun with friends. And the lore that they did have was so interesting when they were actually doing stuff with it. And the cosmetics could be so good. And the events were so fun and unique for the time. The first time, maybe the second time.
Yeah.
not really by the 10th time, but whatever. Sorry, the 10th time is next year. But yeah, I think this game was really special and way ahead of the curve as far as what multiplayer. So often I feel like Blizzard just takes what other companies do and then evolves on it in their own way and like makes it, generally will like make a better version, or at least a certainly competitive version. And Overwatch, I feel like at the time felt pretty unique. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would give it.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. An S tier right there. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Real quick, before we ruin all the fun, I just want to,
before we beat the dead horse.
Yeah, I just want to say 2016 other nominees were Doom, the new Doom, Inside, Titanfall 2, and Uncharted 4. So pretty wild year.
Oh, there were only 5 that year.
Yeah, they didn't start doing 6 until 2018. It looks like.
Really interesting.
It was 5 for 2014 through 2017.
Man, this beat Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy to me, man.
I mean,
wait, Naughty Dog has only won 1 game of the year.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, Last of Us 1 was 2013, so it would have been the year before, and it lost right to GTA 5, apparently. So,
that's wild.
Yeah,
I mean that's like Loki, like 2 generational games going up against each other.
It's kind of crazy. I do think, again, if you're looking at like the test of time, Overwatch, like I love Uncharted 4. Doom is really cool, and I know people love Titanfall 2, especially the campaign. Inside's the game I've always wanted to play. I never got back to. Overwatch would probably still be my pick here, personally, which is crazy to think. And like, as someone again who had to be convinced to buy a multiplayer only game, but
yeah. No, I think that's a solid pick. I think it's pretty solid. All right,
2017. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, boring. Andrew and Chris arguing about Breath of the Wild again. Boring.
Okay, I do have it. Well, never mind. I was going to ask you, I was looking at the nominees again, and I was going to ask you what I thought was going to be a more interesting question, but then I know your answer.
Well, okay. The answer to the question that you're probably about to ask is, do you think that Mario Odyssey deserved to win this year over Breath of the Wild? I think so.
You think so? I was going to ask
time I did
Persona 5, but also Mario Odyssey.
No, Persona 5 was also on there. Yeah,
that was a crazy year, dude. 2017, I think, is actually one of the best years for video games.
That was Horizon as well, right?
Yeah.
Horizon, and then Persona 5.
Was that
Persona 5 Royal or just?
What's the other game of the year nominee?
Oh God,
what's like just a totally out of left field.
Just a hodgepodge.
Persona 5 Vanilla was 2017.
That was Vanilla. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Man,
Royal was a little while later. It was like Royal was 2020. I think it was 3 years later, because
no way.
I'm pretty sure I remember that was on like the same year as Last of Us Part 2, because I remember being like 2020 is now also like one of the best years for games ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Okay, tell me where you. Okay, I know how you feel. You know how I feel. based off of what you see on this list, I'm gonna let you go first. All right, I'll be a gentleman here and let you express where you think it should go on this list.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I look at some of the games, just looking ahead. Let me go back one real quick. Of the games that we currently have up there, already ranked, I think this is far and above all of those games. I haven't played 2 of them, so I don't really know if that's real. In my head, it's like not even a question. Looking ahead, there are 5 games that I could see putting over this game.
Wow. And that's not just because I would want to. Is that you saying for yourself, or is that just like speaking?
That's me.
Speak objectively, or whatever.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Because here's the deal, right? All right, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. Baldur's Gate 3, dude, like we know, like that's a big deal game.
I have a lot to say when we get to Baldur's Gate 3. Yes.
Yeah. He's gonna go off on Baldur's Gate. Astrobot, I don't know, dude. I think it's good. I think it's really good. I don't know if I would do it. Elden Ring, I haven't played. I can't speak on it. Last of Us 2, God of War, I could maybe see myself doing it on a good day. I don't know if today is one of those days. Expedition 33 is the other one that I could maybe see myself doing it for. But I don't know, man. Like I in my mind, this is where this game goes in S+. I think that this game is such a big deal. This was the big comeback for Nintendo, where everyone's like, dude, they're back. Actually, I'm not even gonna go ahead. No. You were so much to say.
No, you were the. I don't know. I want to interrupt you. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
I just think that this game is so much of a big deal, and it's still being talked about. I mean, it's been 8 years, and people still
won't
talk
shut
about
up
this
about
game.
it. Yeah, I know.
And they won't shut up about it for a good reason. It's a big deal game, man, and it's a good game, and it's a great game. It's not a perfect game, and there's a better version of it out now.
That isn't on this list.
But this is, whenever I'm talking generational games, this is a generational game. Like, this is the one for Nintendo that put them back on the map, dude.
This would be such a more fun conversation if Odyssey or Persona 5 had won. Like, I enjoy that so much.
I think I
more
agree.
than this. But
But this is a shared tier list between the both of us. I know you want it right here in the A tier. I will meet you in the middle at the S tier, and then we can move on to the God of the War. I'm going to put it above Overwatch. Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
Handshake?
That's it. Yep.
All right.
Realistically, you got to where I was going to go. I was like, I would never put this above Overwatch, but I understand that it means a lot to you, and I know it's not going any lower than S tier. So where things stand now, where we have Inquisition at B, Witcher at A, Overwatch at S, sure, whatever. These are not the games that I'm going to be really, really heavily campaigning for yet. So I don't want to use all of my bidding chips too early. I would put it below Witcher 3, probably.
I freaking called it, dude.
Exactly where you put it, yeah. But hey, it's still above Inquisition. So
I'll take it.
There you go.
I'll take it all day.
For our list, yeah, sure, whatever. We can put it for now at the top of S.
Don't you freaking start with me. It's not moving.
Hey man, we haven't used a teardrop in a long time. That's all I'm saying.
You haven't used a teardrop. The last time you used a teardrop was on this game.
It's just gonna be. You're gonna have to rename it to the. Well, there's something there, right? With Tears of the Kingdom, Teardrop, even though this is Breath of the Wild. There's something there. I'll think of a pun later. All right. Next up, we got a banger here. We got 2018's God of War.
This is definitely a banger. This is another big deal one.
Yeah, this one.
Because what was the last God of War game that came out before this?
It was
Or like when was it?
Ascension, and it was in 20. It was still on the PS3. It was not nominated for Game of the Year.
There was a God of War on PS3.
God of War 3 was on PS3, and then so was Ascension. Yeah, that was the prequel. But yeah, no, I mean,
I've still never played any of the old ones.
You're insane.
I know
They're so good. I feel like 2 genuinely has aged pretty well. I think. Well, not in every way, but like from the gameplay standpoint.
Yeah.
This game was kind of like what you're saying with Breath of the Wild as far as for the series specifically. Obviously, you're talking about like for Nintendo overall, but like people I think really were like, yeah, I don't know about God of War. Ascension came out and was kind of a flop or whatever. They had this multiplayer mode tacked on that I actually thought was pretty cool, but you know, no one really seemed interested in. And I think 3 so definitively felt like an end that we were like, I don't know when or if we're gonna get another God of War. And then we get this reveal trailer where he just shows up in the cabin, and I still remember that E3 presentation where that got announced, and then you hear the new theme that's become so iconic now. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, dude. It's I do think this game is really special. Do
you think, just real quick, do you think that it's better than Ragnarok? Like, if you had to pick between the two.
No. I like Ragnarok.
Really?
I like Ragnarok more, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the ending of Ragnarok is really cathartic. I think it's really like this shows you a new Kratos in like kind of his infancy. And I feel like that is the evolution of that character to where he has become someone so much more interesting than he ever had any right to be. And I think I won't spoil anything, I guess. But the question that is lingering over God of War Ragnarok for the entire game that is kind of presented at the end of God of War 2018, I think just keeps it kept me very interested. I liked the way that you get to see more of the gods that we're familiar with, I guess, and the new interpretations of them. I think Atreus is a more fully fleshed out character in that game. It's just a slightly more, I don't know. It is very similar, but I think that it kind of takes what was in 2018 and evolves basically every aspect of it. Like some of the ending scenes in that game, dude, I just they got me real good.
Yeah.
And the music in that game, dude, the Hosier song, bro. I listen to that
the
all
Hosier
the
song
time,
is really good.
dude.
The Hosier song is very good.
The twist in that game, so good.
Oh yeah, no, that
the performances.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no,
because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think. I'm like, is there a moment? Because I'm really big on like the big moments.
Yeah,
like those are what stick with me the most. Those are what I remember the most. And I'm trying to think if there's a moment in Ragnarok that hits as hard as that one part from 2018. You know, the part in the woods.
Yes, yeah, that is like one of the best in the whole series. Yeah, for sure.
That's like one of my favorite gaming moments that I've ever had. And that's even as someone who has not played the old God of War games.
Dude, it hit like a drug when you played the old ones, dude.
Dude, like I remember being alone in my room, living at my dad's house at the time, and like sitting up in my bed, like, what? Dude, like I was freaking out, man. And I can't think of a moment in Ragnarok where I was like that, except for maybe the twist.
I think it was the twist. I think that I'm trying not to spoil anything, but like the ending, I guess. Like I don't know. Whenever you're kind of getting ready for the end, That kind of last calm before the storm, that whole sequence just really emotionally
Oh,
resonated
yeah.
with me a couple of times, but especially the very, very last part right before the finale kind of kicks
Yeah.
off. The stuff with I don't want to spoil anything, but that game also has its moments, and especially if you do include the DLC for Ragnarok, then
I was
that
gonna say
also
that DLC is good,
shoots
man.
it up in my mind because it's
Yeah.
fantastic. But anyway, what about you? What about you? Do you like 2018 more?
I think I like 2018 more. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. It stuck with me a little bit more. Even though I definitely didn't play it as much as Ragnarok, I played way more Ragnarok. Like I didn't platinum it, but I 100%ed it.
How's that possible? How do you?
Because I don't think that I played it on like the hardest difficulty or whatever. I don't know if you have to do that for platinum.
No, not for that game.
If I didn't 100% it, I at least did all of like the optional bosses and whatever that like final boss or like the secret boss or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I like 2018 better.
So where would you?
2018 is like low-key, like besides FF7 remake, I think it's my favorite game on the PS4.
Wow.
Even over Last of Us 2.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably, but see, and it's not at the point to where like I can recognize that I don't think that it's in the S plus tier. I think there's an argument to be made that it could be up there, but I think that it's around the S, like the top of S.
Yeah. I
like honestly probably right here.
I think for audio listeners, it's just this really pregnant pause where I was really trying to figure out what I think and feel. No, that game was really special to me, and it still is, but it hit so hard at the time. But I do think that it is ultimately an evolution of what had come before in a totally like fresh way of approaching things, but I wouldn't say it's like a revolutionary game and like an S plus kind of like it's like a 9.5 and not a 10, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So yeah, I would personally put it at the top of S tier because I do think it's like right on that cusp of S plus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But is it better than Breath of the Wild, Andrew? Is it better than Breath of the Wild?
It's definitely better than Breath of the Wild.
Part of me wants to say that it actually is. I'm not folding. I'm not folding here, okay? I'm thinking rationally, and I'm trying to put together my what else was nominated this year?
2018. It was.
I know it was Red Dead 2.
Yeah, this is the crazy one. This is the year that God of War beat Red Dead 2, which I think people kind of lost their mind about. Yeah, I think they're still mad about. It was also Monster Hunter World, Spider-Man, Celeste, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh my god, dude.
Pretty crazy year.
Man, Celeste. Oh, I love Celeste so much.
That's a pretty crazy year, dude. Poor Spider-Man, man. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere, maybe it was on, I think I heard it on the Mimnex podcast or something, that the Spider-Man games, or Insomniac as a whole, is like the most nominated studio of all time, but they've never won anything or something like that.
Never actually won an award.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think that's it. Yeah. Maybe they'll win most anticipated game this year. Okay.
Yeah, I think 2018 is good right there.
Yeah.
Top of S.
Okay.
I think that looks pretty good to me. Next up is Sekiro. I have not even remotely touched Sekiro. It was a shock to me whenever it won Game of the Year this year. I don't even remember what I thought was going to win, but I was very surprised that it won because I had quite literally not even heard of it.
That's insane that you've never heard of a From Software game, dude. Bro, where are you?
I know.
Where were you?
This is 2019. This is before I was like in it, you know. This is like right before I was in it.
Yeah, just to recap, 2019 was Death Stranding, 1, Outer Worlds 1, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate,
Oh yeah,
Control, and Resident Evil 2 Remake.
that's right. Yeah, this year was kind of a little bit of an off year. I remember this.
The fact that Smash Ultimate got nominated for Game of the Year is actually kind of insane. That's like, I think the only time a fighting game ever has or will get nominated.
And it should have won.
That's tough.
Either that or I was voting on Control that year. I really like Control.
I platinumed that game, and by the end of it, I kind of hated it. I should not have stuck with it that long, dude.
Bro.
The combat just got so frustrating in some of those.
Are you for real?
Areas.
Dude, I think that game feels so great. I love everything about that game.
I thought I did until you really started to push it, and then it was like, all right, you're not really built for this life. But we're not talking about Control. We're talking about Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is a great game. I really want to do when you finish your Souls Born journey, 10 years from now. I really want to do a tier list where with all the Souls games, because I think it would be really difficult. But I do think this game, even within the Souls games, I'd probably put like Elden Ring and Bloodborne are like right at the top. Like they're really, really close with each other. And I would say Sekiro is like one tier below that at like, I'd say Sekiro and Dark Souls 3 are kind of right there. For me. Yeah. So like it is high up. I watched a speed run of this game. Games Done Quick this summer.
The speedrun is kind of crazy.
It's actually insane. Just seeing people.
It's a lot.
Like, I will say, I think
just zipping around.
I owe this game a lot more than I realize I do, because this really feels like when parrying took off in gaming, and I still think it's some of the best parrying of any game ever. This is one of the hardest games I've ever played. Like, this game pushed me more than I think any of the other From games had, even. And so I do have some like a trauma associated with it for how hard it was at the end, for like the secret boss or the extra boss at the end, and plus just the regular normal in-game boss. Probably spending a collective like 12 hours on them. Like they're just so hard, and it is such a demanding game, but it is so satisfying, and it is so different from the other ones that I do really respect it. It's tough, man. Like, if we're trying to spread this list out equally, I would maybe put it at the top of A. I think it is an S. Like, I would say it's like a 9 out of 10.
Let's put it in S. I don't think we need to worry about making. I know you like a nice even tier list.
Well, it's like I'm looking at what else is coming up, man. It's like, I don't know. We're just gonna have one game in B, one game in A, and like nothing. Nope. Yeah, just get rid of all. No. Okay.
You just do one of those.
That's a little generous to Dragon Age Inquisition. No, we can put it at the bottom of S for now. Is it above Overwatch? It's like not above peak Overwatch, but is it above regular Overwatch, like base Overwatch?
I would believe you if you said yes.
I think if I'm trying to be objective, it is. I think if I'm going off of my personal, like, which one would I rather play in the year they came out, it'd probably be Overwatch. But yeah, that's probably better. No, I think Overwatch bottom of S, and then Sekiro above that. That's probably fair.
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
This S tier is about to be so bloated, dude. All right.
Because like, here's the thing, right? It's like, How many games do we think are going to be in S plus and S tier? Like almost the majority of them. I think that Dragon Age, I think that Witcher, and I think maybe one other game on here is like
Easy.
kind of
I don't like easy. Hey, easy. You already made a comment earlier. I don't appreciate. Okay, so
No, stop. I think that there's one other game on here that could be like in this A tier or this B tier. But I think that all of these other games that we're gonna have in the S and the S plus, I think that they're just in such a league of their own that like the games in the A and the B, like they just don't quite reach that. But I think that there's a big enough gap,
yeah,
in Witcher 3 and Inquisition to actually like have a distinguishable gap.
I think so too. Yeah. Next year is also one of the best years in video game history. Do you want to hear what the nominees were for 2020, dude?
I would love to.
Hades, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and The Last of Us Part 2, dude. What an insane year, man.
God.
We had no idea how lucky we were living in a pandemic.
To be locked inside all the time.
Just kidding. But, dude, yeah. I mean, Last of Us would have been my pick, but if it was any other year, Ghost of Tsushima, FF7 Remake, Hades I didn't like as much as I like Hades 2, but I know that it was super beloved. And so was Doom Eternal. It's like, that's a crazy year. That's a crazy year.
That's a oops all banger year right there. Like, oh my God, man. I can't believe FF7 Remake was 5 years ago already, man.
Yep. And it was after Kingdom Hearts 3, and we still haven't gotten any information on Kingdom Hearts 4. That's how I keep time.
One day.
Last was Part 2. I mean, we've talked pretty passionately about this game already. I think we both know how we feel about it. This is S plus tier, I think, right?
I agree. Yeah. No, I think so.
Just genuinely the peak of narrative storytelling in video games, in my opinion, and some of the best animations and level design and
graphically at this point in time is like one of the nicest looking games I had ever seen.
Yeah.
Like just so good.
Absolutely destroyed me.
So good, top to bottom.
Yep. We've talked about the game quite a lot on here. I don't think we need to spend too much time on it.
I was about to say, I think
I'm sure we will compare it to the other games as we go.
You can go watch our Naughty Dog tier list.
Yeah.
A few episodes back for full thoughts on Last of Us 2.
And please like, comment, share, and subscribe when you do.
This guy.
2021. If 2020 was oops all bangers, 2021 was oops no bangers. I'm just kidding. There's like 2 bangers in here. We had Resident Evil Village, we had Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, we had Psychonauts 2, we had Metroid Dread, we had Deathloop, and we had the winner, It Takes Two.
No, actually, hold on now. No, that's actually a little bit of a banger year.
It's a good year. I think
it's not like there isn't like a clear like big, like 10 out of 10 game in that year, I don't think. But like as far as like those nominees, like that's still solid. I think I remember hoping that Metroid was going to win, but I knew it was never going to. Because there was a point where everybody thought that Deathloop was going to win.
I know. I didn't care for Deathloop. I tried it. It wasn't my thing. Psychonauts 2, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't for me. Which is weird because I love platformers, but I just couldn't get into it. Rift Apart was really good. I platinumed it. Village.
I loved Rift Apart.
Village was okay. I do think it's weaker than 7 or 2 Remake. But it was still good for sure. Yeah, I would say actually Metroid Dread was my second on that list. In hindsight, like that game has the most sauce a Nintendo game's ever gonna have. Like Samus is in that game is so cool. Her design is so good. I didn't know anything about the story, but I remember there being a moment at the end where I was like, "What is happening? This is crazy."
Yeah, no, the end is kind of crazy.
Appropriately challenging at times. Yeah, like
Yeah, it really was. Once you got to those like really hard enemies, like where you actually had to parry stuff and dodge stuff,
yeah.
like
The parry felt so good, dude.
oh, the parry felt
That game looks
amazing,
so good
dude.
on my OLED, man. Why don't we have OLEDs?
R.I.P. OLED.
RIP. But It Takes Two would have still been my winner for sure. I kind of chatted. We both talked about Last of Us Part Two, but then before that, I was talking about Sekiro. What do you think about It Takes Two?
I think it's great. I mean, me and Kayla are probably still halfway through it. We've been playing through it for the past, I don't know, year and a half.
Yeah, I know you haven't
We
finished.
started at Valentine's Day, like 2024. And then every few months we turn it on. We play like a level or two, and then we turn it back off, and then we don't touch it for several months. But every time we get into it, it's a good time. We had never played anything like it. I mean, except for the closest thing that I can think that I had played to It Takes Two was Portal 2's co-op. But even then, it's still like not the same.
Yeah,
It's a lot more creative, has a lot more like interesting mechanics that are, you know, specific to just one certain section, which I think is so cool. It's such a like, what game does that? Like some Mario games I feel like do that, where you have, or even like, this is a weird comparison, but Splatoon also does something kind of similar, where like you have one really, really cool mechanic, you use it for 10 minutes, and then it's gone. The entire rest of the game, you never touch it again. But for that 10 minutes, you're like, damn, this is awesome. They took the time to like put this into the game to make it actually fun to use and feel smooth, and it just, and for someone like Kayla, who I'm not okay, I'm not saying that Kayla's like a bad gamer or anything, but you know, I mean, she plays like Animal Crossing and Stardew. She'll play Zeldas and, you know, like some other a little more like challenging games every now and then. She beat all the Kingdom Hearts games. That's a pretty decent feat.
I wish my wife would do that. Couldn't even get her to watch them when I was streaming them, bro. That's crazy.
What?
She
That's
fell
wild.
off like 2 games in.
That's crazy. I mean, it's a lot of games, dude. It's a lot of games.
She loves handhelds, so I thought when I bought them all for Steam and you could play them on Steam Deck, I was gonna get her, but nope. She won't be budged.
But it was still easy enough for her to pick up and play, you know, for us to just sit down for an entire day. We played it for like 5 hours straight that first day, and we had an awesome time. Like, I have very, very fond memories of playing this game.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think it was one of a kind for the time. Obviously, Split Fiction builds on that a lot, but there was nothing like it. It's so creative. It's so fun. It's at the time, I mean, she was like, this is the most fun I've ever had playing a game like together. You know, it was,
Yeah.
I think, the premier game. If you had someone you wanted to play a game with, there is not a single game I would recommend above It Takes Two. And that's kind of crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it is the
That's
most
pretty wild.
multiplayer tailored experience at a time when we were getting fewer and fewer of them.
How was this compared to, so I never played A Way Out.
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever did.
I did.
But in terms of like comparing the two, like, does A Way Out do anything as interesting as It Takes Two, or is it just kind of
it's a much more
Okay.
straightforward narrative. You know, it's much more grounded, so you're not going to all these different. I feel like, okay, they had sci-fi and fantasy as their way to have whimsy and like more creativity. In this one, it's like they're kind of storybook characters or whatever. A Way Out was much more grounded. Like, you're just 2 dudes, like, and you're doing
Just 2
jailbreaks and
dudes
stuff
breaking
like
out
that.
of jail.
Yeah. And so it was still really cool for the time. But the tasks you're doing aren't nearly as fun or creative as, like, it was still really cool to see, like, this is a game you can only play if you have someone to play it with, and it's built around that. But it was definitely more of a proof of concept, I feel, than, and like, It Takes Two was the actual vision I
Right.
imagine they had for that. Though I will say the narrative is probably the best of those 3 games in A Way Out. Not that it's insane or anything, but it's probably the best. Yeah. So, narratively, but
What are we thinking here? This is a hard one for me.
it is really hard. It is really hard. I think it's right on the cusp of A and S.
That's kind of where I was thinking just a little bit. Because I don't, as much as I like this game and as much fun as I've had with this game, I don't think that it can be compared to God of War. I don't think it can be compared to Breath of the Wild, Sekiro, Overwatch. Like, I don't quite think that it's on that level, but I still think that it's, I mean, just amazing.
Yeah,
for sure. But I don't think that it quite reaches those heights.
it's just tough because it's such a its own thing, you know. Like,
It's such a unique thing that it's hard to compare the apples to the oranges.
Yeah.
On this a little bit.
Like, I didn't really care that much about the story of Sekiro, right? Obviously, Overwatch doesn't have a story, so like when you're talking about narrative, it's not like that's a top factor. You know, I think Overwatch and Sekiro are kind of some of the pinnacle of gameplay. And I would say that It Takes Two is the pinnacle of multiplayer gameplay. It's not necessarily like the individual things you're doing aren't like, if it was a single player game, I don't think they would be mind blowing. Like, it'd still be fun. But like, it is still the pinnacle of multiplayer gameplay. So that's kind of why I'm a little hesitant to put it in A, because I do think has something that makes it really unique to stand out. But
we can throw it in S, bro. I ain't got no problems putting it right there, dude. It's gonna look wonky.
Yeah,
it's gonna look wonky. Your little OCD brain is gonna.
we can put it at the top of A for now, and
you gonna do top of A?
Yeah, we'll maybe revisit it when we adjust a little bit. But
yeah, that sounds good.
Next year, 2022, we had what I'm sure was your pick, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
It was. It was. That game is so good, man.
Stray, which is a wild
what a pick,
wild
dude.
pick. I played that game. I platinumed that game. It's cute for what it was.
It was fun.
Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, A Plague Tale, Requiem, and Elden Ring. And I do think they've made the right choice. Dude. I remember, I think they probably did. So pretty mad at I was so back and forth between Ragnarok and Elden Ring, dude. I remember at one point I was firmly Ragnarok, and then I was like, I don't know, Ring is pretty amazing. And I think ultimately they did make the right pick. I know you haven't played this one.
I have not.
I would put it S+ tier. Like,
I was gonna say, I feel like this is another one of those like kind of like.
This is genre defining game.
Genre defining. This is the pinnacle of Souls games.
Yep.
Right here.
I think it is, like, for me, it was what everyone said Breath of the Wild was for them. Like, a world where the exploration was constantly rewarded. I could go and look at the map and be like, okay, what's that? And then you go to a dungeon where you open a chest and it eats you and you get teleported to a completely different area that you have no idea where you are, and you're absolutely clearly not supposed to be there. And, you know, bosses everywhere in these dungeons that have all these different types of bosses and such gameplay variety and how you can choose to play it, and just style, and just a huge, I mean, what a gigantic game, dude. I remember thinking that the starting area was the whole game, and then I realized it was like a fourth of the map, and I could not wrap my mind around how big it was, and how much there was to do in it. I truly think it is the best open world game that I've played. I think probably still.
Really? Oh, just period. Just best open world game.
I think so, because I'm not the biggest open world guy.
Yeah.
But it's certainly up there. And at least for like first experience playthroughs, yeah, I mean, I think it had the biggest impression on me. It was a game that I spent so much time in, and at no point did I ever get bored or disinterested in exploring. Like, usually at some point, even in some of my favorite open world games, as someone who likes just doing check boxes, I played a lot of Assassin's Creeds, dude. I've checked a lot of boxes. And there are times I really enjoy doing that. There is something I find very satisfying with that. But usually at some point in that process, I do start to get a little bored or worn out, or like I'm just doing this, you know, because it's fun enough, right? But like,
you're just killing time.
Exactly. But
yeah.
Elden Ring, I just never hit that point. Like, I think at the very end, there were some instances where some of the dungeon design had started to feel a little samey, but even then, it's so uncommon that that's the case for how big it is. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
there's
It's so varied in everything else that like
yeah,
it can be overlooked.
it's like I can't even dock it half a point for that because it is so uncommon that happens in such a minuscule complaint in the grand scheme of things when you look at how much content is in there and how fantastic the rest of it is.
Yep.
And if we were including
Do
DLC
you-
for all these, I mean, Shadow of the Erd Tree is also insanely good.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that it is better or worse than The Last of Us Part 2? Now that's a question.
I don't. I would not put it above Last of Us Part 2 for me personally.
I didn't think you would.
Yeah,
I know you.
I mean, you know how I am about my narratives. Like, narrative is so important to me, and like, I know there is cool story in Elden Ring, but like, as much as I love the Souls games, all of them, couldn't tell you what the plot is for almost any of them. Couldn't tell you what's going on 90% of the time.
Yep.
It's just, it's vibes, and that's fine. Like, I know there's more there. I respect that there's more there, and it's well done enough that I can tell there is more there. It doesn't feel like it's just kind of poorly done, so I'm not understanding. It's like, no, there's stuff here.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of choosing to not engage with it, and some people would call that heresy, but I think it's fine. I still,
Yeah.
I still think this is one of the best games ever made, and I don't, I think it's actually a testament to how good it is that I say that, having not cared that much about the story.
Yeah. One of these days I will get to it. It's sitting in the plastic over on the shelf right now. I bought it like 2 or 3 Black Fridays ago.
You're insane, dude. Wait until the Switch 2 version comes out and it runs at 15 frames a second, and then
Yeah, no thank you. It's okay. No, I'd rather not. It's okay. All right. This one is also you. I have not touched this one yet. Baldur's Gate 3. I feel like this is the nitty gritty right here, dude. Like, I know as someone who has not played Baldur's Gate 3 how big of a deal this game is, in terms of it also being like a genre defining game.
I don't think it's just a genre defining game. I think it is a medium defining game. I think this is one of the best video games ever made. I think that this is a game that takes something like D&D that should not be possible to recreate outside of that medium, the medium of playing that game, like role playing, live action, whatever you want to call it, role playing, and translates it to a degree that I truly just cannot wrap my head around. Like, I've played this game for hundreds of hours. I've done multiple playthroughs, single player, multiplayer. I have seen other people do playthroughs, and there is constantly something new that I'm discovering, and there are constantly new ways that I'm seeing people choose to play and engage with, and it is just so unlike any other game I've ever played as far as the depth with which you can role play in this if you want to, and the like strategy that the game requires if you are wanting to play it at the highest level, and the most simplistic things that you can choose to enjoy about it if you want, whether it's just talking to your companions and hanging out with them. And like, it's a game that I've never had a game that I wanted to 100% more than this one, because I truly felt like, okay, if I'm missing out on anything right now in Act 1, then I'm going to be missing out on something in Act 3, because everything comes back in some way, shape, or form, whether it's just a random NPC who recognizes you, or if it's a whole quest line that is influenced by whether or not you chose to spare someone or do whatever. Like, it's funny, it's emotional, it's, got just this grand sense of scale. The music is fantastic. Like, the companions are some of the most memorable and best companions I've ever experienced in a game. Like the performances are so good. The like it's just a game that feels like there are almost no boundaries in a medium that I feel like kind of constantly has to play around how do we keep a player contained so that they can get this experience that we want them to have. And I typically like having those more linear experiences because I find when you open up the boundaries too much, like Breath of the Wild, I just kind of meander aimlessly for me. And I didn't mean to, throw shade at Breath of the Wild here while we're singing the praises of something else. But like, this is a game where it's like you can go in whatever direction you want. And I've seen, like, when I'm playing, Mare and I are doing our first playthrough together right now, and we're in Act 3. And I've tried to like not tell her too much. I want her to have her own thing, and so I'll just watch her go somewhere or whatever. And I think back to how I played the game the first time. I'm like, you're doing it totally differently, and the game's just like, okay, go ahead. You can just completely never see this character your entire playthrough. That would be pivotal to my experience. And the game's like, yeah, you can do that. You can. This is a game that truly lets you play however you want in a way that is just still boggles my mind. I think it's. I think it is the top of the list. I think it is better.
The number one.
Yeah, I think it's better than Last of Us Part 2.
I can absolutely vibe with that. I think that's awesome.
I truly think it is like. I love The Last of Us Part 2 myself. I think that game is like a 9.75 or a 10 out of 10. But I understand some criticisms that can be levied at it. Right? I think the Baldur's Gate 3 is like actually one of the best games ever made. Like, I know you can't say objectively because it's all a person's opinion, but as objectively as you can get, I think it is one of the best games ever made.
I love it. That's awesome, dude. No, I think that's a really good pick. I mean, from everything that I've heard about it, and I've seen clips here or there, and like I vaguely know like how the game works, and like it. I'm gonna get to it one day. It's just long.
It is very long.
I tend to get intimidated by big long games, but
Mr. Xenoblade,
and also by games that give me too much freedom. Like this is the Bethesda conversation again, where like I don't like how much freedom those games give you, and it sounds like this game gives you like even more freedom than that.
See, but that's what I love so much about it, because like the areas that you can explore aren't that big, right? It's not like you go into a Skyrim and you are in this gigantic map and you are meant to spend 50 hours literally just clearing the map, right? Like this is a game where you are in Act 1, which is a one singular map with a lot of different areas within it that you can, buildings or dungeons or caves, whatever you can go into. But ultimately one big map that is not overwhelming, but it's so dense with what inhabits that map that I feel like it is not nearly as overwhelming. Like it's something that like you're gonna go to this area anyway, and because these characters are so interesting, because it's so well written, because you have no idea what you could learn from someone or whatever, like it's just organic in a way that I feel like isn't in like a Fallout where okay, I'm just moving from town to town, and like that gets intimidating because I see how much ground I have to cover. It's like, no, you're going to cover this ground basically just doing the main story anyway, and that's not what's going to take you so long. You're just going to be, in my experience, so engrossed in this world because it's so well done, where you're going anyway, you are just going to feel really, really motivated to do it all because, oh, suddenly one of my companions has an exclamation mark because they were in my party while we met someone who knew about something with their culture. And so then I'm going to talk to them about that, and that's going to progress their personal quest. It's just all so fluid, man. It's so beautiful. It's so good. Like, I don't think there's a world, like, I think the biggest thing this game has going against it is for people who don't like turn-based games, and that's not you. You like turn-based games. So like I don't think there's a world where you don't like this game. I would be flabbergasted. I just don't know. I couldn't think of what about it would not appeal to you personally.
How much is this game? Now you got me
dude, and all of this,
I don't
literally,
think they put it on sale, which is fair.
they do every now and then. But dude, and just to reiterate, right? Everything I just said is true about this game, but also you can do the entire experience by yourself with one person and two companions, to two, of your party companions, or you could do it with four people and have a completely different experience every single time, because your single player playthrough, you're going to be kind of focusing, which is how I recommend playing it the first time, because I think the companions are so great, and that's the way that you really get their full story, because you can have your party's always of four, and so if you're playing single player, you can have a party of three, but you're constantly managing, and it's a game that you feel like you're learning as you're playing it, because now if you ever want to go play D&D, you have such a solid baseline for what you need to do, because you know about the terminology, you know about cantrips, you know about your spell slots, and all this, because you're having to learn every character as you go. I guess that's the one thing I guess that could be a turnoff, as well as just how intimidating it is initially, but like I just found it so rewarding to figure it all out as I go. And now there's so many guides out there because of how long it's been out that you could just follow while you learn and stuff like that. But
yeah,
sorry, I'm gushing, but
no, you're good, dude. No, dude, I was expecting this. I was strapped in. I was ready. I know that you really ride for this game.
It's just I've been reminded this year. I've always loved it. Like, it was so profoundly impactful to me the first time I played it, but playing again now, 2 years later with Mare on her first time, it's like, it's just crazy. Like, I'm playing a completely different build, and even though we are doing a lot of the same things, because she still kind of wants me to lead a little bit, it's like,
yeah,
I'm still getting to see enough differences, whether it's like, oh, this time I'm a sorcerer and there was just dialogue options here that, like, they're not going to change the game profoundly, but it's like, this is just new dialogue that I didn't see before, just because I'm a different class and a different race. It's like they thought about that for times a million, for all the different variables that you can have. It's just so,
that's so sick, dude.
it's so good.
The idea of this game, I just love it. Every time that I hear somebody, like, I've heard somebody tell me how this game works maybe 10 times, and every time I'm like, yes, tell me more. Tell me more. Like, I'm so into it that I really do need to hop into it. I know I do. Dude. What were the other games nominated this year? I know it was like Tears of the Kingdom, RE4.
Yes, Tears of the Kingdom, RE4, Spider-Man 2, God bless Insomniac, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Alan Wake 2.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I forgot about Alan Wake 2.
Yep. It was an interesting year. I was so scared, man. I would have been inconsolable. I was going to be inconsolable if Tears beat Baldur's Gate 3, dude. I would have lost my mind, dude. I
was rooting for it, of course. But that was before I knew, like, really, like, what this game was about.
I'd be a different
man.
And
now that I know, like,
I'd be a different human being. Well, and obviously, the game is great on its own merits, right? But I do think that year, especially, like, hearing Swin Vinke's, the director, or the guy who accepted the award for Larian Studios, his speech was so profound that year too. Like, they just feel like such a team that is so genuine and so passionate about this. And like, I remember his speech being so beautiful about, oh, I've been to the future. And so I guess it was actually what he said last year, whenever he was presenting Game of the Year to Astrobot. Him talking about, I've been to the future and I've seen who wins, the next Game of the Year. It's someone who doesn't charge extra for microtransactions, who doesn't rush their game out. It was just basically a tongue-in-cheek way of saying how important passion and doing things for the right reason in this industry is, and how that can lead to success organically. And I know this industry is in a really rough place right now, and it's not that simple for everybody, but like, it makes it feel extra good that a team that seems so kind to their developers and so passionate about what they do is, you feel good about seeing them win, kind of like how I did with Astrobot last year with Team Asobi.
Absolutely. The one thing that I do want to say about 2023 real quick, I hear this a lot whenever we listen to Kind of Funny, and every time it comes up, I agree wholeheartedly. We were robbed not getting Final Fantasy 16 music in the Game Awards medley.
Dude,
even though I talk trash on that game, I wish it got nominated over Mario Wonder just because I wanted to hear Away.
16 gets too much hate, man. That's all I'm saying.
You think it gets too much hate?
I think it's too much hate. That game's got some sauce. It's not a perfect game.
It does have some sauce for sure.
But some of those boss fights, dude.
The boss fights are like that is the part of the game, dude.
Yeah.
But it just the low points just get so low.
The side quests and thing, I let a friend of mine convince me to do every side quest in that game. And if I could go back in time, only one time in my life, it would be to get that time back. Okay. There are some really good ones, but like 5%. And then it's like
they're few and far
95% just garbage.
Like the
filler.
Torgal one is really
Torgal,
good. That's the only
Jill,
one that like comes to mind.
Yeah, like all of the ones at the end that
like towards the end, yeah. Literally all of the other ones. Every time you get a new town, it's just so boring. Anyways, sorry, that's a whole nother tangent for another day.
Yeah, for our Final Fantasy tier list, I only got to play 13 more. And that brings us to last year, which, man, what another incredible year of nominations. Metaphor Refantasio, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, and Astrobot. And of course, my son, love of my life, Astrobot, took the award. And you had the audacity to imply he was going to be A tier earlier.
This one was a little bit of a shocker for me. I'm not going to lie to you. This one winning was a little surprising to me. Not because I dislike the game. I think that it's a great game. We've had this talk a time or two on here where, I mean, this is very... I think that you think this is a perfect platformer. I think it's very close to a perfect platformer. I thought that, of course, being me, I thought maybe Rebirth deserved it a little bit more. But, you know, that's the FF7 stan in me talking.
It was another year where you know the Star Wars meme of the guy who's like, I don't need him to win, I just need you to lose, or whatever it is. Yeah. That's how I felt about Black Myth Wukong. I was like, I would have been happy with literally, I wouldn't have been thrilled about Balatro, honestly. But whoa. Black Myth Wukong,
take it easy, buddy.
That would have been my villain's origin story for sure. I really don't like that game.
I will become the Joker.
I really don't like that game, dude. But yes, I have a very special place in my heart for Astrobot. I think, you know, when I think back, like, yeah, Rebirth is also a game that's very special to me. I would have been happy with Rebirth, Metaphor, or Astrobot. But Astrobot, again, was one that it felt so good to see win because it felt like such an underdog. And it was something that was so personal for me that, like, this hit on such a deep level because of my love for PlayStation and platformers and playing the Astrobot games all the way back to the PSVR and seeing how far they've come. And just, I do still think that it is, like, basically a perfect platformer. I don't think there is hardly anything I would change about it. You could up the difficulty a little bit. But they've had, I mean, again, not that we're judging it based off of DLC, but in all of the free DLC they have added, they have had some really challenging levels, which have been super fun. So it's like, now it's an even better game. It's like, it was, in my opinion, a 9.75. And now it's like, you know, it was somewhere between 9.5 and 10. And it's like, it's only gone up.
We're rounding up.
It's only gone up. Yeah.
If we're rounding up. We're going to call it 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that this game misses for me is something like it's a 3D platformer. It doesn't have to be Mario. Okay, I know this. I wish that there was just like one more like movement thing.
Yeah.
Other than just running and jumping. You do get like a little like spin attack if you know, attack or spin, hover, you know, whatever. That little Mario Galaxy spin that he does kind of.
Yeah. It's like the
But
circular.
I wish that you had like a long jump, like Mario has, or like something along those lines to just kind of like give a little bit more variety or something to like his moveset. I understand it needs to be. It's the goal is to make it like relatively simple. And I have no problem with how the game moves. Like besides that's just the one thing that I would add to kind of give it just a little more sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It is simple, but like for me,
simple doesn't mean bad though, for sure.
Yeah, I think they chose to focus on the, I don't want to call them gimmicks, but like the upgrades that you get each level, the abilities that are specific to whatever. Yeah, the power-ups to those levels. Yeah. Like I think they chose to focus on that instead, which I think if I had to choose between those two, it's like, okay, you don't have the power-ups, but you can have a little bit more ability that maybe they could do a little more with the levels in that way, or you could kind of have these levels that are tailored experiences to what you can only do when you have that power-up. I think they made the right choice. Not that you know, this is a hypothetical. Maybe they could have done both, but
yeah.
That makes up for the simplicity for me, because like I didn't ever get bored with the simplicity of the moveset, because every level basically I was doing something different anyway, and that was what I think helps with the variety.
Yeah, I think as far as like the power-ups go, there are a couple of them that I can do without. I sound really down on this game. I would like to let everyone know this game is like a 9 for me. Like it's very, very good. I'm sounding way more down on it than I actually am. Trust me, I really love this game. I'm pretty sure I platinumed it. I very much like this game. I'm not a fan of the monkey. Okay.
Oh, the one. Yeah, that is probably the only one that's not great.
Hate the monkey.
Yeah, the one where you have to like.
And I'm not big on the steel ball.
The steel ball,
where like you hold down left trigger or something and you turn into that little steel ball, you can like roll over spikes and all that.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's pretty fun.
Really?
Yeah. The only reason
I think that one's okay.
Like
it has like certain.
That's like literally the only one I don't like, and it's just because the motion controls don't always feel super precise. But that's only. It's fun when it works, but when I'm trying to do a speed run and it gets ruined by that doesn't feel as good, I'll say.
Yeah.
But that's very few.
This is my least favorite levels to try and beat your times in.
Well, hopefully you didn't beat them.
But yeah.
I don't have to do it again.
But yeah, I don't think that this is quite on the level of, you know, a Baldur's Gate or a Last of Us or an Elden Ring. But I mean, this is an S tier game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am like right below Breath of the Wild for me on this one. And I know you're probably right there. Above Breath of the Wild. Are you above God of War?
No. I am above Sekiro, I think, on it, which I know is heresy for people. I mean, yeah. So for me, by default, yes, that would mean it's above Breath of the Wild. But
I'll rock paper scissors you for it right now on this podcast.
I'll let you have it. It's fine. It's fine. I had to make executive decisions for some of the other ones, as far as, you know, letting them go up higher when you haven't played them. So
I'll take it. I'll take it all day.
Frankly, I thought you were going to try and put it in A tier, so this is a fine outcome for me.
What? Why do people think that I hate this game? I love this game.
I just thought with the comment that you said earlier when you were like, yeah, there's one or two other games or whatever that you think are going to be an A tier, and I was looking at.
Oh, no. This It Takes Two was the other one that I was thinking. Yeah.
And that brings us to
our presumed Game of the Year winner.
Yeah, we are assuming, I think correctly so, that Expedition 33 will be Game of the Year. Hypothetically speaking, if it is, where do you think it should go on this list?
That's tough, dude. I mean, as much as I love it and as high on my personal list as it is, I don't think it's in the S+ tier. But I think it's like right on the cusp of it. I think it's right at the top of S tier. Or maybe I could see an argument for it being below God of War 2018. But I think it's right around this area. Where are you at?
Yes, we should get a count. I had to stop myself. We need to get a count of how many times I said this is tough tonight.
Just going over the nominations. Every category, man, that was a tough one.
Turns out games, they're pretty good.
Got a
lot of good games
a drinking game on this one.
Yeah, just pass out, dude. I am on the fence here. God of War 2018 was super impactful for me at the time. I don't find myself thinking about it a ton these days.
Yeah.
And I obviously still do with Expedition 33, but it's so much newer that's not necessarily a fair metric, I don't think. I do think, as much as I love narrative, it is kind of funny how much music can also impact my kind of affinity for a game. I think that is such a reason Kingdom Hearts has stayed so high in such high regards to me. On top of the fact, I do still think Kingdom Hearts 2 is like a perfect, well, not one of the best feeling action action games of all time, whatever. But it is also just because for my entire life, I've been able to go back to that music and be like, yeah, this still slaps. This still makes me feel something. This still whatever. And I kind of, I think I will feel that way with Expedition 33. I think that soundtrack genuinely does like hit
elevated that much so
hard.
Much
yeah
more.
it really does. And I do think there is an argument to be made about the like I said in the earlier part of this episode, the fact that this melds turn-based with real-time action in such a cool and unique feeling way.
Yeah, I think there's an argument for it to be made for it to be an S plus because of that, and for what it does for not just for indies but for just small studios in general.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be in the long run a very, very, very influential game.
I think so too. It's tough.
Now that I'm like looking at it more,
I'm so sick of saying it's tough, but it is. There's no other way to put it. The
more that I look at it, this feels right.
Yeah, it's because it evens it out. That's why. No, stop that.
There we go.
Stop. Those top three are just such juggernauts, man.
I know. But you got to think about the juggernaut that this was this year, dude. This game came out in April, and it has been talked about for the entire year. Like, when is the last time that a studio puts out a game, a studio that no one's ever heard of, their first game ever, they put out a game, and it's been this relevant for this long?
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Like, it just doesn't happen, dude. Game talk lasts like 3 weeks tops anymore, and then it's gone. But like, I hop on Twitter, I hop on Facebook, people are still going hard for 33, man.
It's just people somehow constantly experiencing it for the first time throughout the year. It's had such a drip feed of the really passionate people finding out about it first, being really passionate about it, and then very slowly over time, I feel like getting the word out.
Yeah, that could be it too. I'm down to put it at the bottom of S plus or at the top of S. I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm also down to drop Overwatch a peg down to the top of A. Or we can just leave it just like this. And I'm fine with any of the above.
None of them, are too egregious. That's the problem. I think they're all viable. Overwatch is one that, again, it's just so hard to put myself back in that 2016 mindset. Like, what was the game really like back then? You know, like
Yeah.
it's just changed so much.
Before we really knew.
Yeah, for better and for worse. Like I said, I mean,
Yeah,
before it had
honestly.
really gotten fleshed out, and also before it took a complete nosedive.
Yeah.
Maybe that would make me feel a little bit better about It Takes Two, because part of me is still sad that it's an A.
Yeah,
but like
it really feels like we're just like taking a shit on It Takes Two right now, and it's, like we both like this game.
I think it's fantastic. Like I said, I think it's one of the best multiplayer games ever made. Which again, with using that kind of language, part of me is like, I think it should be higher, but so hard. What a terrible tier list that would be. For audio listeners, it's just B tier, Dragon Age, A tier, Witcher, S tier, everything else except for the top three. Why did we spend the last hour and a half doing this?
They're all good. Just slap them in that.
Breaking news.
Ooh. I know that.
Now you're just trying.
I know that this tickles your brain just right, dude.
Stop it.
Dropping Overwatch down into A.
Akira.
Putting Expedition 33 up into S+. We've got a nice 4-4-3-1 split. I know this tickles your brain just the right way, dude.
So pretty. I think the problem with Expedition 33 is it's still new enough. It's hard to tell. Will it stand the test of time? Like,
yeah,
I know how much I love that game right now. I think it's a game whose ending I still think about a lot, but it is a game that it has a lot of moments I think about still. I think that the reason I'm a little hung up is like there wasn't one moment where I was like really emotionally torn apart, which I do feel like they were going for, right?
What?
Like I felt throughout, but like I don't think I cried at all playing this game.
Really?
Yeah. And
dude, I have a very vivid memory of me finishing Act 1. I stop playing for the day. I go take a shower, and I like lose it in the shower. Like, rain starts falling on my head. Tears start coming out of my eyes. I'm like, oh my god, what is happening to me?
Well, and like the narrative is so good. Like there are so many moments where like I did feel things. It's just like I didn't feel as deeply as I expected to. I think that's my slight hang up, is because it's not like a Last of Us Part 2 where I was weeping, bro. And it's like a game doesn't have to make me cry to be, S tier. I did still feel things. I still cared for these characters. I still loved it. But just to talk through what I'm thinking right now, I think my slight hesitation, and like I said, just because in general, because it hasn't even been a full year, it's harder to judge that one than the others. I remember thinking the same thing with Baldur's Gate 3 at the time. I was like, is this as good as I think it is? Yeah, no, it turns out it's probably even better than I thought it was.
But when's the last time you had a narrative like hook you in as much as this game?
It has been a long time. And again, that's like, is this a me problem or is this a game thing? I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, games aren't good now. I mean, we just spent 3 hours talking about how many great games there were this year, right? But I do feel like when I look at all these games that I do still acknowledge are great and still say are great, I get people, giving me crap because they're like, wow, you say it's good, but then here's all the things you don't like about them or whatever. It's like, am I just becoming too harsh of a critic? Am I closing myself off here, or is
I think
is it a me problem?
well, I don't want to say we. I think no, probably we played too many games. I think that's what it is.
It happens.
We played so many that like
it happens with movies too. It's like just media in general. I think we weren't meant to consume this much content in our lives, Andrew. We're simple organisms. All
right, let's get a definitive ruling on this real quick.
If you're happy with
would you like to drop Overwatch down to the A tier so that It Takes Two is not alone with Geralt of Rivia?
Yeah, I think that is because Overwatch in the year 2016 still had its problems, right? Like I still think it was still mechanically fantastic. It was addicting. I loved it. But like all three of those games in A tier are still like 9s.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think you could actually almost like separate into, okay, B tier is like, okay, that's like an 8 or yeah, whatever. Then what are you doing? What are you doing with my boy Carol?
I was just saying that that's another option. Moving Witcher down.
I don't think we can put it in the
If
same,
you don't feel like it's on that.
I don't think we can put it in the same tier as Dragon Age. I don't mean to dunk on Dragon Age, but it is so clearly the worst of all of these games. Like,
yeah.
just not even close. um, yeah, I think. Yeah, A is like a 9. S is like a 9.5, and then S plus is like they're like 10s.
Do you think Expedition 33 is a? You said it was a 10.
I think I did say it was a 10. I have
Yeah.
this app where I rate things. Yeah, I gave it a 10. Can't go back on it now.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our tier list of Game of the Year winners and a presumed Game of the Year winner.
Run it back.
Expedition 33. In the B tier, all the way at the bottom, Dragon Age Inquisition. In the A tier, right above that, at the bottom, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It Takes Two above that, and above It Takes Two is Overwatch at the top of the A tier. At the bottom of the S tier, we've got Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Astrobot, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, God of War 2018 at the top. And in the S plus tier, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 at the bottom. Elden Ring, The Last of Us Part 2. And number 1, Baldur's Gate 3.
This is such an S list, dude.
It really is.
People would be. I don't think people would agree with this order.
You don't think? I think people would agree with this list. I think the only
Breath
thing
of the Wild people get pissy about. I think
I was gonna say I think the vast majority of people will say that Breath of the Wild deserves to be in the S plus tier.
I think Last of Us
But
Part
even
2,
me as a Breath of the Wild
people
defender, I don't think that it deserves to be in the S plus tier.
that makes me. I'm so proud of you, man.
If Tears of the Kingdom won 2023 and Baldur's Gate was not here, that is a different conversation. Buddy.
I wouldn't be.
That's a
I guess wouldn't exist. I would have quit playing games, bro. Yeah, no, I think people would probably be. Sekiro's got some stands too. I could see people putting that higher, probably bumping The Last of Us down. But, and I think people would. I think people would put The Witcher higher too. Generally, I think I'm a little lower on that than most people. But
yeah, I think that's just like not our kind of game.
Yeah,
even though you like it for sure. I know that it's not my kind of game. And if I got into it, I'm sure that I would like it. But it's still, even if I did get into it, I don't think that it would surpass anything above it.
I think it's the only game on this list that like I really respect and I do enjoy, but I think I actually respect it more than I like it, if that makes sense. Which I do still really like it. I sound down on it, but like it's great. It's
the Mario 64 of modern games.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you,
Good
man.
Stuff.
That was fun, dude. Any chance I get to talk about
that was a good one.
The best games in our medium. That's a good day.
I mean, dude, that's 11 years of the best games of all time, supposedly.
It is kind of crazy because I kind of expected to look back on this and disagree, but I think the only year I disagree with is 2014, the Dragon Age Inquisition year. I think the rest, and I would have put Bloodborne over Witcher 3. In
2017, you're probably putting Persona 5 over.
Yes, yeah.
Or Mario Odyssey.
I would put both of them over, honestly.
Yeah.
I think most people would argue Red Dead Redemption 2 over God of War, but I would put God of War over RDR2. Sekiro, I did really love Resident Evil 2. Sekiro is probably the better game but it's just,
RE2 is so good though,
it is
dude.
so good.
I've never had a game make me that tense, like constantly. Like I was worried that game was like unhealthy for me to play for a certain point. I didn't play through Claire's story.
Contact your doctor.
I only played through Leon's story. Because as soon as I don't know if I've told this portion of my RE2 experience. RE2 is the first Resident Evil game that I ever played. I was having a great time, and then when what's the big dude?
Mr. X.
Mr. X, yeah. When Mr. X lifts up the helicopter, starts walking towards you, I've never felt that level of anxiety in my life, dude. And then I figure out that he follows you around the entire game. I said, oh, no. We bumped this down to easy immediately. And I played the rest of the game on easy. Every time he'd come up to me, 2 shotguns to the head, and then he's down for, whatever, 5 minutes. And then I just don't worry about him anymore. I couldn't do it, man. I could not do it. It was way too stressful.
I think
it's the footsteps, man. The footsteps are what got me.
He is very daunting. I think I was trained for it a little bit with playing Resident Evil 7 first, because that one is even more scary with it being in first person. It's not as persistent as Mr. X is, which I was just looking. I was like, I can't believe that game wasn't nominated. It's because it came out in 2017. Though I say that, it still should have been in the place of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Like, what are we doing?
Nowadays, yes. Insane. But in 2017, PUBG was a really, really big deal.
It was. It's just, that'd be like Arc Raiders getting nominated.
Like the
now.
biggest deal. Yeah.
But games are awesome. I think that's the final verdict here.
Games are awesome.
Somebody keep tabs of all of our predictions we made in the first half of this episode, and then let us know who got the most predictions correct for the Game Awards.
Also keep tabs of how many times we said, man, this is tough.
Please. You can count that one too. Yeah. Just be ready, because that task, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
God, I hate him.
But that about does it for this episode of the Teardrop Pod. We didn't use our teardrops again.
I thought you might have. Anytime the Breath of the Wild is on the list, dude, I start to get a little freaky, man.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
I start to get a little tense.
I'm not gonna do that to you. I feel bad if I'm the only one who does it. You would what?
I could always revenge teardrop you, dude.
I know. I don't want to invoke
Put
your
Last
wrath.
Was Part 2 down
you
one real
wouldn't
quick.
Dare, bro.
Oh man, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
You wouldn't dare. We've heard you talk about it. You can't trick us now. Well, everybody, I hope you have a great week. I hope you enjoy the Game Awards episode. Sorry that the audio version of last week's episode is delayed. Andrew sent that to me and I just completely forgot to upload it. So you're going to be getting, if you're an audio listener, you're going to get 2 episodes probably closer together than you ever have. Don't get used to it.
What?
But, just know that we are continuing to upload on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So please subscribe to us everywhere so you make sure you don't miss anything. Things are really crazy with the holidays right now. I don't know when our next episode is going to be. I would like to get one more in before Christmas, but I can't promise that. But we will definitely be doing an end of the year episode where we honor 1 year of this podcast, kind of. And,
yeah.
More importantly, just do what we did last year, which is kind of go through our top stuff for the year. I'm a sucker for lists of a bunch of things, so I got to figure out how we want to do that. I'm sure our tier list will be our top 10 games of the year like it was last year, but we were talking.
It'll have like some overlap for sure. I think it'll be like it'll probably be like a 15 item list, maybe a little more.
Yeah, and I think we'll maybe have some extra fun surprises in there too. I've been cooking up some other potential awards we could give some things from this year, so I hope you all are excited for that. But until then, do you have any final words, Andrew?
Nope. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you as always.
Have a lovely day, morning, and or evening, and remember,
and keep dropping those tears. Yeah.